Hello, and welcome. It's Trucking Answers. It's 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in beautiful Lafayette, Indiana, where it's supposed to snow later today. So that's pretty wonderful. Hey, there's some high winds in South Dakota. Did you know that? Edward Durr gets elected. The big guy that he beat says, all right, all those votes that we found that I said we didn't found, that I never said that, we counted them, and okay. The main potato harvest is having problems. Maybe no spuds for everybody. Infrastructure bill gets signed today. I don't actually know what time, if it was already signed or whatever. And they always use 40 pens. Did you ever notice that? Presidents, all of them, they always use like 40 pens, and then these are like commemorative pens. So kind of weird. That's just a waste of tax dollars, really. It snowed in Minnesota and had a bunch of slide-offs, as usual. So a bunch of people slid off everywhere, and basically we're all over the place. So that isn't any good, is it? So what's going on with everybody out there? Let's see what's happening. Holy moly. George H.W. Bush was first today. So hello there. James Morrow second. And what's happening in Tampa? Nice. Very warm down there. So compared to here, of course. Trucker Hershey, hello. Creature 937 Garage Door Trucker. What's happening? Grafton Word, what's going on? Live long and prosper to you. Chicken Allers here. Sunny and 55 in Alabama. Boy, I need to move south. The grumpy trucker from St. Louis. Well, at least it's not too warm over there. What's up from sunny Oklahoma at 66? What is going on? Why is it not warm here by me? Oh, wait, because I live in the frozen wilderness. 40 in Baltimore, Eddie. That's pretty good. Although you're in Baltimore, still not bad. Happy roller winner, Al Johns. What's happening? At least it's warm down there. Will you crush everyone's souls and dreams? George Wilson, hello, everyone. John Zay Black, 39 and no snow in Utica. We're going to get a little snow later today. They said a Clippers coming through here. Maybe the Clippers are coming through. I don't know. That's a sports team for those of you that don't know. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Boy, you're probably already covered with snow up there. Kelly Patterson, good morning. Hope the wieners are hot today. You're going to have to warm your wieners up today because it's so cold. You don't want to eat them cold on a cold day like this. So be sure to micro those for a little bit. Dwight is here. Hello there. Flip Flop Fool. Hello. What's going on? James Bass. CFI has major ELD problems. Really? They're in the news today, too. They're splitting up into their 5 different divisions now, starting in January. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So Omnitrax is having problems today. They probably got hacked by somebody. Who knows? Midlife Trucker. Lots of giveaway pens. Yeah, that's true. The president, if you ever watch these signings, you should watch one sometime. It's always on like C-SPAN or whatever. And so then they'll sign, they take a pen, like a commemorative pen, and they sign like just a part of their name. Then they hand it off to somebody, and then that person hands them another pen, and then they sign, or there's a line of them sitting there, and they grab the next pen and sign like just another part of their name, like O, part of the O, and then part of the E, and then they'll give it to the next person. And those become commemorative pens from the signing of the bill. It goes to the sponsors of the bill and people that donated or whatever. Believe me, you're not getting one. We're not going to be able to get one. But that's how that stuff works. So I don't know how much they cost. Believe me, you should just use a big pen like everybody else in the world. Or whatever pen they use, you know. To probably have a box of pens. Come on. It's not a lot of money. It's just the point. Cash King Trucking. Hey, what's happening out there? Silver, that should put that debt past 30. Yeah, you know, it's not like, oh, it's a lot of money. It's probably $100 a pen or something that they charge. It's just the idea. It's just the idea. A red alert. Are we in red alert already? Paladin, yikes. What is happening? I missed last week on home time, but this week you're at a receiver. All right. Well, yeah. Hey, at least you get some time off. That's what I say. That's the best time. The home time is the best time of work. The time that you're not at work. Who's Edward Durr? I live in Iraq. Oh, he ran for a state office in New Jersey, and he made the national news because he spent, depending on who you listen to, $100 to $200 on his campaign and beat a guy who'd been in office for 12 years, 11 years, like the head of the Democratic Party in the state, basically, and trounced the guy. So trounced meaning he beat him on just a couple $100. And this guy's a truck driver, Edward Durr. That's why I talk about him. I'll try not to do too much politics, but he is a truck driver and one, and he had like the greatest video. It's on YouTube or whatever. You can go look him up. Hi, I'm Edward Durr, and you see him getting out of a truck or whatever. It's just classic, and he won. Is he going to change anything? No, not one person can't change anything, but you know, one person can start a change. Somebody has to start something, and it takes a person to get it started. So that is one person that is taking action. Pretty good, and he won. And he's already trying to be canceled. So We talk more about that on the podcast, where I do talk a little bit more about that, which is every Tuesday, Friday. You should download it. So there. Fleet Nav, send them to, James, send the people to Fleet Nav Systems. At least they'll keep their system running. You get them outfitted with Geotab, which goes down less than Omnitrax does. Better support. Yeah, at least you have somebody that knows what they're talking about, unlike some support places who shall go unnamed. It's Mr. Plow. Hey, what's happening? You'll be busy pretty soon. Todd blew a steering tire on the Kentucky Kennedy Expressway. Recommend it. Oh, that's pretty awesome. I'm surprised considering how nice the roads are. Fortunately, probably some helpful pedestrians came up from the neighborhoods in the area to help you, and were very helpful about that by holding all of your belongings while you change the tire. It's beautiful and 71 degrees in Tampa Bay. Oh, James, that's pretty nice, isn't it? You know, I have a friend that lives in Tampa, so he always says it's super warm down there, and he gives me regular weather updates in the winter. Very nice of him. New Jersey senator arrested him for log violations. Didn't record himself on duty when he took office. Flat highway. You know, that's pretty interesting. While he was running for office, if he was still driving, would he have to record that on duty? I don't think so. That's an interesting question, but no, because he's not being paid for it. Now when he goes in office, if he continues to drive, he would have to log that time on duty time. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, and I don't know if it's full time. Like here in Indiana, they don't meet full time. So state office, usually those people do work. If they can't get bribes, contributions from people or whatever, they do work here, and they only meet every, for 3 months or whatever. So, yeah. Beautiful 71 in Tampa, which I already read. Top of the morning, TJ Jones in the Bill of Woods. What's going on? It's good to see you today on this wonderful day. Midlife Trucker, remember to check out the latest six-figure trucker video at Midlife Trucker. Yes, that would be a very good thing to do. Go to Midlife Trucker and get the latest six-figure video. And I have a slide over somewhere. It's in the slide, the company slides. Let's see if we can get that up at least as we go along. Yeah, at least you can go and get a decent job that's going to pay you and get your time off paid, and just basically all the way around. How about that? There's a number to call. We can do it just like that. So that's how we can do it. Pretty good. All right, so that's how I do that. Let's see, I got that slide in there. Let's see. Oh, where did I now lose my spot? I hope you go to the Tim Pool podcast to talk about the ins and outs of trucking. He mentions trucking a lot. All right, I'll check it out. Arkansas Infidel. All right, I've never heard of that podcast, but I will certainly check it out. Absolutely. Is that a truck driver, or does he just mention trucking? So 44 in Connecticut, flip-flop. Well, I hope you're not wearing flip-flops today. James, yeah, above your pay grade. Usually talking to a company falls on deaf ears. I don't know how you at Fleet Nav get them to come on, but they don't want to hear what the drivers have to say at most places. Still here at Sister's house for home time, partially sunny and 50s. Kelly, boy, it must be nice to have siblings. And you got somewhere to go. They really signed the bill earlier. That's just a ceremonial copy. Oh, really? So I figured that's the actual copy. Well, either way, those pens, those thousands of pens or however many, there's always pens, and they go to people. Otherwise, it wouldn't sign like part of their name or whatever. I've never even seen one, but you watch them sign it, and they have 40 pens. I'm sure they have the presidential seal on them. We roasted our wieners over a bonfire at the beach last night in a town called Pass Christian, right? They pronounce it like Christian. French. Those crazy French. Everything in that town's in metric, too. Edward Durr in New Jersey won. Yeah, the other guy conceded, finally. After all the found votes got counted, because we have to count everybody's vote, he still won. So, absolutely. That's how they do it. The graft. Let's see. I sign my bills like the president signs a bill. I carry a box of big pens with me, thinking about selling the used ones on eBay. We just use a bunch of those Bics, but you only have $1 in the whole deal. So that's pretty good. You roasted them all? Al Jods, I love it. Right. Skillcraft. Right. Cheeseman is big on home time. 2 days a week, and I stay out 2 weeks and take 4 days. Yeah, so they give you the option. If you want to stay out, you can, or if you're back, you can. That's what places are doing now more that they used to, right? Hey, give drivers a few options, and you tend to keep people longer. That's a pretty good idea. I'll hit you up at a live stream at fleetnavsystems.com with the names of the CEO. Oh, right. I would love to link the CEO or COO or anything into stuff like that. They would love me doing that. Holy mackerel. You'd have to do that on the sly, right? Crush Ed stream. Go up there and tell Ed he can't do that anymore. If you want to see some interesting Google reviews, look up North Korea business. Oh, I bet that's pretty good. Customer no support. Oh, there's a Clark Howard person. DOT Secretary said until drivers are compensated for all the time, we'll never have enough drivers. Todd McGuire. Yeah, and I don't know if that was you. An astute viewer sent me, I don't remember who, a thing about that, where, Pete Buttigieg says, hey, if we're not going to pay people properly for what they're doing as truck drivers, we're never going to have enough drivers. People are not going to stay in the industry. Pretty interesting that he actually glommed onto that and took it out to the public. Of course, the news didn't put that out as much as they should have. We don't want to talk about that part of it, right? You should definitely go to Tim Pool. Really. Roller Wiener Monday, Million Miler. Finally, right? I started my day with most of my cords all wrapped up in a bundle. Now I could start my shift pretty wired. Oh, very nice. Sitting here 3 days now, ready to rent a car and go home. Yeah, where are we sitting? What's the problem? And, are you being paid? Why are you sitting? You should certainly have freight. All I hear is there's not enough drivers. There should be freight all over the place, right? If you wear it, of course, make it a parrot. Don't go around. And I saw this the other day, too. Driver walking in from the fuel line, right, going inside, headset on. And he was talking, his lips moving. Love it, right? No Wiener shortages here. That's the truth. Or on Saturday nights. Rent that car and drive home and you get a local job punching the time clock. That's what I've been doing for almost the last 16 years. Exactly. Well, where are we sitting 3 days? Look, I'll tell you the honest truth is you can sit 3 days at home and not be paid. Especially if they're not paying you, you can go home and not get paid anything. So, the Anime Trucker, good afternoon. I'm at the end of my rope with this company and done with the week. It's only Monday. Nice. What's the problem? I mean, considering the amount of freight that all I hear about is there's no drivers. Everybody should get all the miles they want. So what's the issue? What do you think about owner-operators using Chinese tires? Yeah, they sell them for cars too. Pep Boys, when you go to Pep Boys or whatever and they have tires for your car that are $39, and they're Champion or I forget the name of them, and it's all misspelled or whatever, those are Chinese tires, okay? They are. They're horrible. And so an owner-operator that uses them, I mean, tires, very super important. You want to cheap out on them? I don't know. They probably last half the time that a regular tire lasts and cost half the money. Are you saving money? If you need a tire and don't have any money, I guess. It'd be better than nothing, I suppose. But would I put them on my car? No, would not. Have y'all heard they want to get rid of emissions for trucks again by 2024? Yeah, they're still reviewing the log. That is still in court where it might go back. The administration is saying, look, we didn't get a chance to look at all these log changes. So later this year, we could hear something, or, early next year about the logs changing again. I use Grants. Hey, Mar, do you know, who do you work for? Let's get this out of the way. Yeah, I don't ever get that enough. And that's good. People don't ask it. I try to keep them out of my videos. And with all the drama that goes on YouTube and that, let's keep the trucking companies out of the program here. Also, don't recruit for them. Although, if you like your company, that's quite all right. But I just don't. I just keep them totally out of the picture. And I think that that works out better, at least for me anyways. But if you get a box of pens, you get a big deal. Oh, man. This is getting good. As soon as the lobbyist machine gets a hold of this trucker, he will forget that he was a truck driver. Well, I don't know about that. What they're trying to do is get him out of office already by pulling up tweets that he put out like 16 years ago or whatever. Really like 3 years ago. And putting out a bunch of other stuff saying that he's not fit for office, and that's how they're doing it. One person. So look, they're putting a lot of energy into that. That's why I'm telling you, one person. You don't think you can make a difference? You can make a difference, because then now you can shake the cage up. You're on the inside with them, shaking it up. They don't like it. They don't like it, and they'll see what you're doing. Now you're stuck your head under the curtain, right? And now you can see what's going on in there. All you see there is the wizard, right, and the machine. That's it. There's just one person back there. That's the problem. Use invisible ink. Oh, I remember those pens. You should get them out of the back of Mad Magazine. You're late. It's 9:43. Wow, must be nice. Midlife trucker. The big question is proper pay for a truck? What is proper pay? Right. I hear people say they aren't paid enough, but can't get that question answered. Yeah, it depends. What Pete said, and what I kind of always agreed with, is that drivers, like everybody else, if a company takes your time up, you should be compensated for that. They're taking something from you, they should give something to you. That's how, any transaction works. So any time they take from you should be compensated to you. And, if it's compensated at the rate of a local driver and at the rate of a teenager at Burger King, unfortunately, 7 days would be, in the $6,000 range. Is, just in the mid $20 an hour. Think about that. So should you get $6,000 an hour? I don't know. Or $6,000 a week? I don't know about that. But I do know that if a company asks you to do something for them, including sleeping away from your house, that all should be factored into your compensation. And I do think that over-the-road drivers should make considerably more than local drivers. They're giving up more of their time, so they should make more money. And then owner-operators should make more than that, because they're not only are they gone, they're then taking a risk by running a business. So then they should make even more. I saw the Asian Mai show. He said, don't buy Chinese tires. I agree. But all tires sold in America have to meet a standard. Okay, they probably do have to meet some kind of standard. But I got to believe that a Chinese tire does not last as long as an American tire. As an a name tire. It's a knockoff. It's an off-brand tire. There are videos where we can go watch, where we do mileage tests and stuff and traction tests. There's probably some minimum requirement that they have to meet. I wouldn't buy one either. I'm with him, and I say no, absolutely not. What company would I personally recommend? It depends on what you're trying to do, where you live and all that stuff. The stuff that I do, most people don't like doing it because I don't work that much. So it depends what you want out of life. I don't want to work my life away anymore. I did enough of that, so I'm happy working a short day. But most people, when they're like, oh, well, no, I don't want to work a short day. Okay, well, I don't know what to say. So it depends what you want. Afternoon all, a pig pen. Did you see the latest smart trucking video talking about an email I received from former driver? No. What was that all about? I'd love to know about that. Issue here is ELD problems. Oh, well, then you should tell them, look, you should either change ELD or I'm going to have to change to somebody that's got a different ELD. I mean, that shouldn't make you stop for 3 days. Why are you stopped for 3 days over an ELD? Bust out that paper log and let's go. Seriously, why would you stop for 3 days for an ELD? What are they doing? What's happening? Went to Port Canaveral last Tuesday. Didn't get loaded until Wednesday. Nice. Broke down Wednesday night. Didn't get a response tow until Thursday night. No way. A day without a... Listen, I'm going to ask you, and you don't have to say it on here if you don't want to, but what company lets their truck, even if they don't care about you, what company lets a truck sit a day somewhere broken down where they don't get a tow to you or get any kind of response to you? No way. And you should be paid for all that time, in my opinion. But certainly, leaving their truck out there, I just can't even believe it. Yeah, what problems are you having with the ELD? And why is it stopping you for that long? Sam, hello everyone from Brigham City. Wait, all right, no coffee. Waiting on my company to send my load, hopefully going home. Yeah, tell them, hey, let's get some load going home here if it's home time. Cheeseman is looking for local drivers. I saw that on the website. Home Daily, make good money. And Greer, South Carolina, and Cincinnati and Ontario. Nice. You can go to the truck stop out there all the time. Won't operate. I think it's a software issue. Bust out that paper log and get on the road, for a while here. There's a truck about 100 miles away they're trying to get me to while mine is down. Tell them, look, cab, whatever. We can't just sit forever. There's somebody, here's the thing. On this sitting like this for days, you got to tell them, look, somebody's got to either pay me for a day's pay or get me to a truck or something. Something's got to happen. Guaranteed pay is the way to go. At least have some kind of base every week. At least a base pay every week so that if you got broken down and you're sitting for a day, that somebody's going to pay you something. Companies without at least some kind of guarantee now, that's a real problem. That still leaves me trying to figure out what truck drivers should be paid. Yeah, I don't know. Local and then over the road. And then, so for local drivers, well, if we do that way, local drivers now, at least in Indianapolis, can go make, $1,800 or so at least. Some a little more. So, because we're just looking at 25 to 30 an hour in Indy to start. And then it goes up. I'm seeing 35 with like an experienced fuel hauler. So, 70 hours at that rate, is $2,000, $2,500. So in a road driver, if you're going 7 full days from your house, it's 168 hours. That's 2.5 times as long. That's where we get to $6,000. And then an owner should make more than that because they're taking a risk. Now the problem is owner operators, company drivers are not making $6,000 a week. So it's hard to really say, but I do think road drivers should make more than a local driver. You're giving up more of your time. Tablet is not interfacing with the onboard computer. That's no problem. We throw that thing in the passenger seat and we head out with a paper log and say, hey, this thing's not working. Freddie Newman. I got that a lot in school. Kelly, ELDs are good. It's malicious micromanagement. That's how they is the ELD issue. These companies that are like, what are you doing? Where are you at? All that. Oh, my gosh. Just give a driver a job and leave them alone. Wiener complaining increased wages are the cause for inflation. Hey, these wages are what's killing people. Somebody on the news, too, who I can't think of, it was a woman that came out and said, or at least she was on a news show, and said, hey, people can afford the higher prices at the store. You're making more money. I love that. I love it. Hey, it isn't a problem. You can, you're making more. You can afford all that stuff. I put my Christmas tree up already. Are you too early, Joe? Yes. It's not Thanksgiving, so yes, you're too early. Absolutely. Are you a lawyer? Well, it turns out people do ask me that sometimes, and it turns out, no, I am not an attorney. Although people may think so. I am not actually an attorney. You should seek an attorney or the local FMCSA field office for further legal advice. You know, I like to joke about crushing dreams, but if a driver goes above and beyond, they should be compensated. Yeah, they should. Any time that a company asks you to take up your time for them, I think you should be compensated. How about that? Oh, that email from the England driver, brutal conditions, possibly criminal. I don't know if it's criminal. What exactly are the conditions? There's probably not criminal because there's no standard for conditions in a truck other than the truck has to be safe and a couple things that the sleeper has to be. Other than that, there's very little that would be criminally a way to criminally treat a driver. Did I watch the last Smart Trucking video? No, I didn't because he sold out the JP Transco. ELDs are best thing that happened to the trucking industry. Yeah, I'm a fan. I think it makes the day easier. I just punch in when I come in into the ELD, and then when I come back, I punch out. I don't mess with it during the day. So if I'm sitting somewhere, like I just sit Friday and wait for my trailer, I just sit there, and it goes on duty, and I'm just sitting there. And I got to say duty. And then when I start driving, it goes back to driving. I have to punch the trailer number in, so that's about it. The Anime Trucker, Western Express. All right, well, there's not a lot we can do with Western. You're going to have to either tolerate it or leave. They're not going to do anything for you there. I mean, that they're even doing this for you, that they're going to try and find you something, a truck somewhere, is probably better than I would expect. You'll be lucky to get paid for any of that. Probably won't. They'll at least pay your motel, and eventually they'll probably get you to another truck. The only solution there is to leave. As soon as you can and you get experience or whatever, it's time to go. Chinese terrorists often get mounted the wrong way. You know, that's really good. That's very good. That's funny because that was on a show the other day. What is the most popular last name in the world? And it was Wong. So that's pretty funny. I live in PA and I got approached by GP Transco and Swift and Smith Transport. Swift is definitely out. Really? Hey, are you just sitting somewhere and somebody goes up, hey, let me tell you about something here. Also, let me give you this magazine. This is part of the reason why I like Dedicated Run. I don't have to worry about waiting for a load. I know what I'm doing. Luke, I agree. I don't like to worry about what the next load is or where it's going. That's fun for a while. You're going all over the country and that. But after a while, at least for me, I'm like, I'd rather do the same thing every day and know what I'll make every week to the penny, and all this kind of stuff. But that's not for everybody. Believe me, that is not for everybody. A lot of people complain about it. We have people quit over it. So I like a guaranteed minimum. Yeah, because then at least you know what you're going to make. So if you have to sit around like this for a couple of days while you wait, you're like, oh, well, at least I'm going to make 12 or 15 or whatever the minimum is there. I totally agree with you, right? Mark can only run paper log 8 days, then it must be repaired or company can be fined. That is correct, but you said you've only been down a few days. So let's get this paper log going and, let's get moving on it. And the company can send an email and go, I believe, up to 30 days after to get the thing. If there's some kind of problem, there's some kind of email they send. So, but for right now, we can get rolling. Most companies guarantee has a catch. Silver. I don't know. Some are every other week, but look, it's still better than nothing. If you're available and the truck is broke down, that should qualify first part of your guarantee. Is your day longer when it snows? Yes. If it snows, it does. There's usually a couple of days a year where I don't get home. So there weren't any last year. I lucked out. There was a day when I didn't go to work, because of the snow. I called them. I'm like, no, thank you. So there were a couple of those days, but usually there's a day where I'm stuck out. Although last year I did get back. How fast you drive, it depends how much it's snowing. If the more snow, the slower I go. There are many crazy companies out here really looking for local drivers. Here again, yes. Hello, Mark, in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. 23 degrees, heading to Sioux Falls. Hey, how's the snow up there? I saw in Minnesota there were a bunch of slide-offs over the weekend. Isn't that great? Everybody driving all over the place except on the road. First snow of the season, Minnesota. Day cabs and hotels are the best. You know, John, I will say no. I'm going to tell you no to that. If you're in a day cab and the weather's good in your hotel, yeah, but in the snow, not really. Because if the road's bad, you got to creep your way to a motel and hope it has truck parking or try to figure out which one has truck parking. It isn't as great as it seems. So I'm not a huge fan of it, really. I'd rather have a sleeper, to be honest with you. I'm pretty happy getting a sleeper at the moment because if there's a problem, I can just sleep right there in the truck. I have a place to go. I don't have to try, 3 exits down, there's another motel. Well, I'm only going 10 miles an hour, you know. Sam, my company's usually good about having pre-plans so I don't sit and wait. Plus, they always get me home on time, and it's not too bad. Yeah, that's important, right? I'd rather have the home time than the pre-plans. But as long as they're pre-planned, and they should. I don't know why companies don't do it. It makes sense from their point of view. If they pre-plan you all the time, right, you make more money, but they also make more money. So companies that don't do that just never made sense to me. Nice. I will not read this. That's the part where it says, why does a woman need a wristwatch? Because there's a clock on the stove. Nice. I will not read it, though. Hello from New Mexico, Daniel. One thing that stood out was that he said 3 people in a truck and he had to split 12 cents a mile when he first started training. Yes, that's true. And we know the 3-person truck has been out for a while at England. I didn't do a video about it. I've actually never seen one. But there are a number of trainers at England that have done videos about the 3-bunk truck. We've talked about it here. That's not illegal. I actually looked and searched to try to find how it's illegal. It isn't. Because when we look at the video of the truck, all of them have straps on them to hold them people down. So theoretically, you could be in any of the bunks when the truck is driving. And it's not illegal to have 3 people in a truck, it turns out. As long as they all log legally, whatever they're doing has to be logged. It's legal. So that's not a reason. The 12 cents, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if you split 12 cents. That'd only be 4 cents a mile. They have a minimum there that's more than that. So, I mean, even on 6,000 miles, it will only be $180. I'd like to see a $180 check there. Maybe. But that's still not illegal in trucking, unfortunately. Finally go home early enough to catch you live, Tyler G. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's about the greatest company, Sierra England. Yeah, what is the deal over there? Come on. You got to do a little more research into saying, all right, 4 cents. But if you don't know how all the pay works, I think it's a real problem. Maybe not criminal, but definitely unethical. Oh, I agree with that. People should be paid a day's wage for a day's work. The trainer basically stayed in the sleeper. I've had trainers there write to me with their $2,400, $2,800 checks and not drive the whole week. How'd you like to make $2,800 and never drive? So there were times when he had to sleep in the passenger seat for his break. Well, you can't take your break fully in the passenger seat. There are 3 bunks in there, so absolutely not. Now, that might be illegal from the logging point of it. So he should complain to England about that. How's Gracie? Very tired, apparently. Very exhausted. So thank you. All right, Gracie? Goodness, she's sleeping. What's worse is they suck you in by signing a contract and then treat you like that. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with it. Right, and you have no way out. And a number of people have written books about it. Sweatshop on Wheels is one of them. Another guy wrote a book about trucking and all of its problems or something. Yeah, absolutely. Right. They perpetuate their own problems. I like the ELD because I hate to keep my paper log current. Right. The ELD keeps you current to the last change of duty status. I think it's great. You're like, I forgot to do the change or whatever. No. Got to head out sometime soon. Have a great week and stay safe. All right, get your shovels ready up there. Fleet Nav Systems, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Fleet Nav Systems right there. I'm going to put a shovel on there pretty soon, right? Because, you're going to get your sidewalks heated up there and everything. It'll be a lot of fun. Heated sidewalks. Fancy. Dedicated is where it's at. Not for everybody. Drivers complain about it a lot. Not everybody likes it. So doing the same thing every day, not really. Planning to quit Western after to get off my Christmas home time. 3 months will be a no. for something better, yeah, just start calling around. Look, this kind of sitting around, you're not going to get paid for this time. I don't even barely have to ask you. You're just horrible. It's just horrible. And now you should do what you can once you get out of there to encourage people to not go there. That's the only way these places change is they can't get drivers. It's the only way to change them. Maybe we can get the law changed to a minimum wage. You know, I'm not a fan of paying people minimum wage, but it'd be nice for trucking companies to not be able to weasel out of time and say, well, we don't have to pay it because we don't have to pay you for your time. Cash is King Trucking. Goodness, don't forget to tip your host. Thank you very much. Well, I appreciate that. Minnesota tips today, so thank you very much. Cheeseman pays $100 in a hotel for 34-hour reset. The only company I know that pays for the 10-hour sleep is Walmart. Yeah, what is $39 or something for the 10-hour break? It's not a lot, but it's something. It's something. I agree with you. Right. I don't see too many paying that. I will say, like, we talked about them last week. I can't think of the name. There are a couple of companies paying by the hour over the road. So I guess theoretically you get paid, not for your break though, probably. Already done my 8 days on paper logs. Oh, you're already past that. Well, tell them they needed. I'm not sitting 3 days then. They got to pay me. They had their time to fix it. They got to do something then. There's a guarantee that you can't complain if they run you hard. That's the other side of it. It depends with the guarantee. The guarantee is usually at companies at minimum. They'll say 1,200, 1,000, whatever, 1,500 as a minimum. Usually you make more than that. It's just a guarantee that you won't make less than that. For things like this where you're broke down, sitting, then you can at least make the $1,200. An over-the-road truck needs to get paid for the security job that's called off-duty. I think so, yeah. Especially at companies like PAM got in trouble for this, right, with many cases, because it says in there, we need you to stay in the vicinity of the truck as security for the load. Well, that ought to pay something. If it's in the driver manual and they expect you to stay there, why doesn't that pay anything? That's always been my problem with it. $1,000,000 mile, I'll probably go with Smith Transport since they offer $1,800 a week guarantee and $2,000 a week guarantee for driver running team from Jersey to Texas. Oh, is that new for them? I haven't seen that out there. Not bad. That's $100,000. First snow is always the worst. No matter how long you live in a northern state, people always forget how to drive. Yeah, that's why there were trucks and cars and everything all over the place in Minnesota. In the snow, people just are like, oh, it snows here. We forgot all about it. It's been nice so long. Why do they call them day cabs? I'm sure I've spent plenty of nights in those things. Some people do sleep in them, right? Getting to a motel is a problem. That's why I'd rather have a sleeper, at least in the winter time. Yeah, William, right. I wanted to not read that, so disregard that. I always tell my dispatcher I want to know on Monday what you want me to do on Tuesday. They should always be thinking ahead. I'm not surprised at companies that don't think ahead. It just benefits the company. Even if they could care less about the driver at all, they're like, even if they have big policies, we don't care about drivers. They should want to run their trucks so they can make money. They don't make money while you're sitting around waiting for a load. So just from their point of view, they should be like, let's keep these trucks running. Oh, also there's drivers, you know. I saw a UPS truck with doubles in the median after the snow the other day in Minnesota. Doubles are already all over the place. These are supposed to be the best of the best drivers. I've seen more than a few trucks off the road in snow with chains on. What are they doing like that? If you took the time to put chains on, at least don't run off the road. The top bunk of the CR England has a sign on it saying can't be used while moving. Oh, is there a little sign on it? They put a sign up there? Theoretically, you wouldn't be up there, right? So there's a sign on it saying it can't be used. I love that they signed it. Why did they spend the money putting headlights on a day cab? Why did they spend money putting headlights on a day cab? 8-hour shift. Oh, I get it. Got it. Right. That took a second. I get it. The headlights. 8-hour shift each, never run out of hours. That's correct. Right. Do 3 guys in a cab use the same bucket? One holds, one goes, and one videotapes. Is that how I assume it works? Sam, my brother's a line haul driver, and whenever it snows in the forecast, that's a per minute thing. He takes an overnight bag for if he has to stay in a hotel. Company pays for the hotel. That's what I do, right? In the winter, and I'd have, a change of clothes and stuff like that. Absolutely. And a charging cord where you could plug it in a wall. Because you never know. You actually should carry that all year. I usually don't, but you should because you can have breakdowns or run out of hours, all year round. But in the winter, that's a possibility. A friend of mine just walked away from Riverside Transportation in Kansas City. Only 3 weeks on a lease purchase, said they micromanage you to death. Why would they micromanage a lease purchase? What are they doing to micromanage them? That's a disturbing thought. Yeah. 3 weeks, let's see. I can't imagine what they would do in a lease purchase. This company driver, dedicated is the way I like it, cashing trucking. I will tell you, we do a lot of dedicated and we get a lot of complaints about it. Some people will come here in 3 weeks, they quit. Oh, I don't want to do the same thing every day. I'm like, did they tell you would do the same thing every day? Yes. Okay. So that's why I think you should really think about what you're going to go do. When you do the same thing every day, they mean you're going to do the same thing every day. My truck did something weird the other morning. It wouldn't go more than 10 miles an hour with my foot on the floor. But after I turned the engine off and blew a cloud of smoke, then drove normal. Who knows? Computers? The thing is the big computer with the wheels on it, right? You're just resetting it and ready to go. Maybe you blew the carbon out of the plugs or whatever. Wonder if Sierra England will help the caravan in Mexico by having a $300 truck. They probably would. If there was some way for them to do that, they'd probably caravan them right to Salt Lake City and, start them out as new drivers. And that company pays $60 per night layover that you sleep in the truck. That's pretty good. I'll take it. I'm surprised Sierra England doesn't buy one of those 110-inch sleeper trucks. They can put like 15 drivers in there. See, the thing with 3 drivers, though, that's 24 hours a day and nobody runs out of hours. That's how I figure it. You just rotate through the seats. So I think everybody's got plenty of hours that way. I'm surprised Sierra England doesn't, see, and I just passed that, right? You hear about the driver who's suing Michigan because they allow single mothers to take their kids over the road with them, but he can't? Michigan. Why would he sue Michigan? Is he suing some company in Michigan? That's how it would have to work. The state of Michigan? 3 guys in a cab is disturbing. It's enough with 2, right? I mean, people at team, it's pretty cramped in there with 2, right? Pretty cramped with 1 driver. Okay? How about 3 and none of you know each other? That's the thing. When you're teaming, you know the person, whatever. The 3 of you in the truck, you don't know each other. Hey, what's going on? So you don't know. My company's already hiring snowplow workers, $32 an hour in my county. Oh, yeah. They've had signs here in Indiana for a while, but it's tough to get people. You have to be basically retired because you're on call. You never know when you're going to work, so it's not like everybody can just go do it. I think if they paid people 40 hours a week, guarantee they'd get people to do it, but they won't do it. Then they're like, we can't get anybody to do it, right? I did the 7-3 split once. Oh, yeah, I did that too, and right off the balance beam. And drove my time down the next day. I got a call from safety asking why I drove 45 minutes past my 11 hours. Never gave me the red triangle to let you know I'm in violation. Well, if you were splitting, you were, right? Were you legal or not? Drivers that like paper logs are usually not running. Just one logbook. Whenever I see an ad, I'll see these ads. Oh, glider kits and paper logs. That's in the ads. Oh, okay. I'm thinking, all right, well, that's somebody that's going to run 850 miles a day by themselves. That's what I assume they're doing. Whenever I see it as an ad, hey, come and drive here. No electronic logs. Yeah. Okay. How many miles do I have to run a day? Oh, 1,000. My company gives us $27.50 for a 10-hour reset. All right. So there are a few places doing it. All right. That's pretty good. That's more than most. Most places, nothing. I just quit driving tractor trailer for a straight truck job, $24 an hour. That's pretty good. I'm seeing 20 to 21. Hogan's the main one in Indianapolis. I work 5 hours a day and get paid for 8. Well, that's even better. I have a life outside of driving. I'll go back in a year when I need more money. All right, will you? We don't get too many people that leave and go back on the road, but maybe. Working 5 and getting paid for 8? You could go work for Uber for a couple extra hours if you need more money and still stay home. Load planning works best if you tell your dispatcher your ETA and PTA and hours available. That's true. And I would always set that on the road for the next morning, all right, so that I could get some sleep. But I didn't complain that I wasn't getting 3,800 miles. I would rather get a good night's sleep so that I'm safe and get somewhere to park. But I agree with you. If you tell them, but then they shouldn't let you sit 2 more days. I've seen that. Oh, well, we don't have anything. How do you not have anything if they need all these people to come to work? Should northern companies expect the drivers to work in bad snow weather? Yeah. If the roads are okay, you should go. Yeah. They can't just have you take the winter off, but it should be up to you at any place. No matter, it can snow anywhere. If you think it's not safe, park it. And that's for everybody, no matter where it is. Even a rain, hurricane, whatever. Just bought my own truck that was a mistake. 2012 384 Pete had a crack in the block and they tried to hide it. Nice. Could you find that out in an inspection? Because I always thought, trucks, just like a car, which people rarely do, should be inspected. I tell people to take a used car on a 100-mile test drive and then take it to a mechanic of your choice for a full inspection on a lift. Run the codes, everything. Do people do that with a semi? I drove a day cab for a day. While my truck was in the shop, my back is still hurting. They're not as great, depending on the truck. I just chugged 2 Monster energy drinks. I'm thinking about sitting in the cruise control and getting out and running inside the truck. When I drank a Red Bull and tried it, I thought, oh, this is why it works to keep people awake. They're horrible. So I don't know which one you had, but I always thought Red Bull, terrible. I made it to the show. Where's the co-host? She's sleeping. She's sleeping on the couch. I'll tell you. She's listening, though. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yes, I agree. Just got my load info for tomorrow. My trailer's east of Northeast and Roseburg, 50 miles away. My load is west of me in Coos Bay, Oregon. Coos Bay. Sir England is extorting students. I don't know if they're extorting them. Extorting them is like, I don't think it's extorting people. I think they're just uninformed. People that go there don't know what they're doing because they're new to trucking, just like a lot of these companies. And so they sign things, and Sierra England has, the information that students don't have, so they don't realize what they're signing up for. I don't know if it's extortion, though. Cash is king. I run alongside and drag your feet to slow it down. Oh, right. Very good. Maybe the 3 drivers are related to immigrants. Maybe, they'd be better off than 3 people in a truck that don't know each other. I will say that. Mohammed, hello, sir. You need to check Melton Truck Lines. New increase in pay home time. I believe they are doing it better. You mean Melton right here? Yeah, I think so. Right. We have a Melton driver that's on here pretty regularly. So, there's the number for Melton right now. Give them a call. Yeah, they did pay, and they do $100 to tarp that load. How about that? Does cat litter work for traction on ice and snow? I don't like cat litter for traction. It doesn't last long, and I never used it. Okay, what I bring is a bag of salt. You want to get traction, like somewhere your tires are stuck, throw some salt down. You know what it does? Besides being all grippy, if you get the big rock salt kind, it melts the ice. So get the ice melter kind, the Prestone kind that melts ice. Yeah, use that. I never liked cat litter for it. Anyone work at the ports? I don't think so. I think that's the problem. There's not enough people working there. There was a line on this week that was like 2 miles long of drivers. Give me a large car glider. I'll gladly run 800 miles a day. That gets people in, I'll tell you. That's how these companies get somebody in. Some of them, they'll run you a long-nosed Pete and expect you to run 800 or 900 miles in it. But, and look, that's not a bad truck to have. Especially now there's less and less of them on the road. Looks better and better, the few of them that are on the road. My friend was on the Tractor Supply account at Riverside Transportation. Tractor Supply store is overrated on being driver friendly. What is driver friendly? That's not a that wouldn't be a micromanagement problem, right? What is the problem there? Life starts now. MSNBC just said most truckers are angry with white males. Yes, over 55 angry white males. I take offense at that being my extreme upper 30s. So there. But they did, a host on MSNBC did say that that's the problem with truck drivers. Truck driving is that it's mostly over 55 white men that voted for Trump. So we need to diversify and trucking will be fine. That's what they said. My average miles per week is 2661. That includes home time. Yeah, see, that's more like it. There are these companies, if it says glider and paper logs, you're getting 2661 by Wednesday night. All right, that's what they're going to expect. Hey, it's paper logs. I'm at Kroger in Indianapolis. Someone bring you a sandwich. You're at a Kroger. You don't need a sandwich. You're going to get unloaded quick there. I was legal after 7 hours of sleep, where I got 6 hours drive time back, and after the other 3, I got 5 hours back and had 15-minute pre-trip as non-drive time. If you were legal, then tell the log department they don't know what they're talking about. Say, listen, you, log department, leave me alone. I drove a day cab and couldn't figure out where to put my bucket. Ha ha! You don't want that up there with you. I've seen some of them where there's a pillow. I get in a truck and it has a pillow and like a blanket. I'm like, what is happening in this truck? What's good for the goose is good for the gander as long as it doesn't run afoul. I'm channeling the aviator trucker. We can each build on it, kind of like a Mad Lib. I'm angry and why they did not vote for Trump. John, see, are you over 55? So do you get most of them at least? Your first year is learning and getting experience, Midnight Trucker. I agree. I agree with that. Look, your first year getting experience, but there's a point where the pay is so low that you can't live. Drivers, people get into trucking because they're trying to change their lives for the better. They're in some kind of problem. They've either been laid off. I get a lot of those letters or whatever. And then they go to a company and they're getting $400 a week, which I get these letters. I'm making $400 a week gross. What? I'm going to lose my house. That's not trucking. Leaving your home and then making $400 or $500 a week. That's no kind of money. And so that's what companies like England and these other companies are doing to people, because I hear the other side of it. And I'm like, you have to leave no matter if you have a contract, because you can't lose your house over some lousy contract. Okay, you got to do whatever you need for your family. And that's where these companies go wrong. Yeah, you're not going to get, $2 a mile to start, but I think a living is what at least could be expected. Certainly the rates now would support a company like England paying people maybe a little more money to get started. Where are there three people in a bunk odd? Atlas and Beacon's movers have been doing it for years. It just seems a little unusual, that the three in their training and they don't get paid anything. I just took a job with Crete, 70 cents. Anyone else here working for Crete? Sometimes we do get Crete drivers, huh? Life starts now. Muhammad, now Melton, if you got 3 weeks, you get 4 days home time, or 3 days with $200, or 3 day with $200. All right, that's new. That's something new from them. Midnight Trucker, I have a small metal shovel I used to pick up the sweeping. It doubles as a snow shovel. Yeah, okay, that's not a bad idea too, right? You could go do that. I like to just melt the snow if I'm stuck somewhere, so a bag of ice I think works a lot better than a bag of cat litter. And I already got cat litter at home, so take the ice melt, the ice melt with you. Roads use sand. Yeah, they have sanders on the trucks. And there are trucks with sanders from years ago. Some trucks had the same thing. It's actually still in the FMCSA guidebook on stuff that you can use, including automatic sanding systems. Got invited orientation Smith Transport for next week, Tuesday. Can't wait to drive a long-nose 389 and not worry about fuel. That's true. They have them at Smith, right? Runs these trucks just like this one. Which you could drive there and they'll buy the fuel for it. So that's pretty nice. When somebody else is paying for the fuel in this truck, I don't care what kind of fuel mods it gets. Although they get way better mods than used to. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's a great idea. You should have the co-host turning over the placard signs. Yeah, she needs to. If she would wake up to do that. Let's see, where did I go off to? I resemble that remark. I resent. I just turned 55. Okay, so it's close. So I guess if you turn 55, you're not over 55. So you do. You're only missing one of the things. She's basically right. The MSNBC co-host was almost right. I'm a 20-something black male, and I'm not mad at the trucking industry. The Animate Trucker. Okay, well, see, you don't fit in with what she said. That's what she said. That the problem with trucking is white, over 55 men that voted for Trump, and that's why trucking is bad. I don't know how that makes trucking bad. That you're a color, that you're an age, or who you vote for. How does that matter with your job? I don't know, but that's what she said. So we need to end that. And I would like to ask her, how do you end that? It's not like you can run an ad asking for a certain race. I think that'd be illegal. Or a certain age, that's illegal. Age discrimination, or a certain sex, illegal. So we can't ask for that kind of thing anyways. Capstone is going to take care of you really good at Kroger. Capstone cares. They should have a big sign. Capstone cares. We love drivers. It should say, the CR must stand for criminal racketeers. See, they're taking advantage of people. A lot of these places take advantage of people. You can't pay someone. I don't think it's legitimate to ask somebody to be gone from their house for $500 a week. I don't. No matter if you just started or not, it is not a legitimate thing. You cannot live your life on the road for that and support your family. It's not fair. It's not right. I guess it's fair because it's allowed. Did you hear Biden administration said the highway system is racist? Yes, bridges especially are racist. I did see that. I'm like, what other kind of infrastructure and inanimate objects are racist next? How about we all just get along? Remember that? Wouldn't that be great? How about if everybody, which I mainly see, I don't really see any problems. Everybody I see gets treated the same as everybody else. Okay, my company, like most companies, we have every kind of everybody working there, and everybody just comes in and does their job. How about we just do that and stop worrying about all this other stuff? How about that? That's the reason I'm switching companies, since they said it's my problem and I have a log violation on my internal record. Oh, okay. That's your problem. What kind of lousy, I swear to God, if the company gives you a violation that is not a violation, they don't even know the log system, and it's your problem, and I'll guarantee you that company be like, why are drivers quitting? Oh my! If you tell them, look, this is why it's not a violation, I'm going to teach you all, and then it's a problem. I just don't get it. Do the research before signing the contract. I agree with you. I agree. People should do that, just like buying a truck and a car and everything else. You just brought in with a dream. Hey, or you're desperate. My house payment is due 3 weeks ago, and I'm not having any money. This place is going to do this for me and all that, and the recruiters are all big on it, but you're over 18, as the wife would say, and so you can sign, but then you're stuck. You're stuck. But the problem is, look, the company does that knowing all these people are going to quit. All it does is ruin people's lives. It's not helping anything. I drive and it says 1 on their trucks. I drive a day cab. There's no curtains for the foot long I put in a Subway bag. Yikes. You got to get your own curtain system going on there. Holy moly. I lived in South Bend when Pete was mayor. Our potholes got filled by Domino's Pizza. Not even a joke. Yeah, they got the road set up there. Look, he's right that until you solve the issues, you're never going to get enough drivers, right? And the thing is, when they interview drivers and they interview companies, what the issues are, 2 totally different things. So until the companies, who are the one that want drivers, realize what the problems are and actually solve the problems that drivers have, they're never going to get enough drivers. Trucking companies are cultists, or some of them are. Who needs salt in a kitty litter when you could pee on the wheel? I guess it depends how thick the ice is. You're just chugging more energy drinks and stuff. Holy moly. I got to get going here. I got to, I got more ice. Do 2 accident-free violation years at JB Hunter Schneider, then go somewhere like ABF or Yellow or original UPS, and you can own your career. Certainly, once you do 2 accident-free years, you can go anywhere. Whatever's in your area. You can go any road place, any local place, anywhere. Certainly. It could be YRC, it could be any place. Yellow freight, right? Free healthcare. Because of crap companies is why people don't stay in the industry. Because the companies sour the pitted, turn around and whining they can't get drivers and push for T800 as drivers. Yeah, exactly. They create their own problem and then complain they can't get people. And then create even bigger problems. The people that come get burned out or make $500 a week, quit. Because look, fair, they quit, they're gone all week making $400 or $500. They have to quit. Litter boxes are easier to use than buckets, especially if you're a cat. Most MSNBC hosts are idiots. That is true. For somebody to say that, it's just ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. It's ironic. A place like them, they don't ever criticize the big corporations, which I would think that channel of all would do, and say, "Hey, corporation, why aren't you treating people better?" They don't go after that. That's what I would surprise they don't do there. What is her solution to diversify the industry? She wants the industry to be more diverse, and that will solve the problem, she said. So we need more people that are not white, over 55, and voted for Trump in the industry, and the industry will get better. That's what she said. So how you accomplish that? I don't exactly know how you accomplish that. Even if that was a goal that you would want, you can't exactly go run an ad specifying a race that you want or a sex or an age. That's totally illegal. It's employment discrimination. You cannot do that. So you can't specify that even if you wanted to. You would have to have basically pocket racism and pocket sexism by not hiring people when they come in that are not the correct age, sex, or race, which is completely illegal and discriminatory and open to the lawsuits. So how it's solved, I don't know. I don't think that's the solution to anything. Get the best drivers, not the best aged drivers or whatever. Do you remember when Walmart settled lawsuits from their black drivers? Should ask for a comment. I don't remember. What was the problem? What did Walmart do to people there? I know a lot of these companies get in trouble for sexual harassment. I don't remember a race problem at Walmart. Crapstone has 10-hour lumpers. Well, here's the thing, Stan. What you're saying, they're trying to help you get a break. You're getting your full break there. Well, they unload your 2 pallets with 12 boxes on each pallet because they have to restack. So they're trying to help you, and you're mad at them. See the problem? Guardrails are sexist. They're next. Why are they all silver? Why do they have to be silver? We should paint them different colors. They need to be diversified in their colors. I mean, it's just the dumbest thing. Bridges. Bridges are racist. I don't know about that. Everybody's allowed to drive under the bridge. I don't know if people know that or not. You can go under it. You can come back. It doesn't matter. Recaps are racist. Some of those are. And I will tell you, Chinese recaps are not going on my truck. You can say that's racist or not. No. Same with the tires. When you can go to Pep Boys and get $29 tires, and then you look, Michelin's are $254 for the same size tire. Wow, I wonder if there's any quality difference in those 2 items. You know, that's the thing. There is a point to that. Mark, all trucking companies are scumbags. There are not as many good places as bad places in trucking. There are still plenty of good trucking companies to work for, but there are not enough of them. Kamala Harris said white people made trees racist. I didn't hear that. How are trees racist? How is a tree racist? They're all the same color. They're all green. Oh my God. I did not hear about the trees. Now, and there's some trees. I go by trees on the way to work. I don't even know. I'm going to have to change the way I go to work. I was driving in a 55 mile an hour zone, but identified as a 65 mile an hour zone. I don't know why more people don't hack the speed limit, the electronic speed limit signs. Does anybody wonder why the country is circling the toilet right now? Okay. The DF pumps are racist. Cancel the DEF. You know, that's the thing. I should talk about that, actually. As it gets colder, and this is like a trucking tip from your old pal Mark here, fill your DEF every time you can get it. I think you should do that anyways. Whenever I fill up with DEF because I've been places where I can't get it, but some truck stops do not heat their DEF tanks. They don't keep the pumps covered, or drivers leave that little flap open that's trying to cover it, and it freezes. And it won't pump because it has a high freeze temperature. I'll have to look it up again. 17 or so, 20, right in there, Fahrenheit, for all of my international viewers, is the freeze point of DEF, where it'll freeze. If they don't keep their tanks heated, or there's not a lot of use of it and it sits and could get a little freeze point on it, you can't get it. So I recommend, at least in the winter, although I think you should do it all the time, fill your DEF tank up every time you stop. It only takes a couple minutes, and you get the points for it. So hey, here's 4 more points or whatever. That can be another 4 cents. I get along with everyone except prime drivers in the left lane. Prime drivers, look, that's something. Why don't they talk about that instead of bridges? Get all the prime drivers over to the right. Did you notice that there's not that many prime drivers? Oh, and I got passed by Wilson on Friday. Wilson Logistics pulling a prime trailer, of course. He was going easy, 70, 72. They turned the Wilson trucks up? What's going on with that? That driver was cruising. Maybe on Fridays they turn them up so they can get them home. I don't know. Did Kamala Harris say in her French accent? Oh, very fancy. No, I don't know about that. Would you donate your DNA for cloning the perfect driving force? I don't know. No perfect driver at all. Okay, believe me. So I don't think plus nobody's going to want my DNA for anything. I blame, other than on Saturday nights, I blame the driver shortage on huge potholes in the road. That's why we have a front end shortage. I'll tell you that, of trucks. Sage News. Hey, what's going on, Sage News? You get stuck on the ice dump a bit of coolant by the tires. I guess it's warm. I guess theoretically you could, if you could get it out. How do you get it out of the truck? Turkey baster? Are you thinking warm? Am I thinking wrong? Warm coolant is what I'm thinking. The bucket is the most versatile tool on your truck. Yeah, midnight. You could put stuff in it and you could take stuff out of it. Got fired from England. Got my dispatcher's wife pregnant. Is that even a true story? That might be possible. I got stuck in I don't know if they can fire you for that. I guess they can fire you for any reason, so I guess they could. I got stuck in a pothole filled with these loose gravel at a truck stop. Had to get winched out. Really? When I quit 6 months later, my company put on my DAC report as a DOT reportable at-fault accident. Yeah, I totally believe that. Absolutely. This is what look, for a small thing, and I know this isn't even your fault on something like that. On something small, my recommendation, even though it's not the right thing, if it's small, call a tow truck and pay it yourself. And have the truck winch you out and tell the driver when he gets there, hey, it's cash. I want this off my record, so just let's not write anything down. And or put something down from just your name trucking or whatever. Because this kind of stuff will be on your record. Okay. So, and you shouldn't have to do that. Okay. I don't think you should have to do that at all. So I'm not saying, oh, that's the right way to do it. But I'm saying to keep something off your record like a reportable at-fault accident. Yeah. And I'd challenge that too. HireRight.com is how you get your DAC. Go challenge that. That's not an at-fault accident, in my opinion. But yeah, to keep it off for $100, $200, or pay some owner-operator. I don't know. I got some owner-operators. If somebody gave you $150, would you run a chain from your truck trailer to their truck and just give them a boost out of a hole for, real quick? Maybe. You might be able to get somebody around there to do it. Certainly a company driver would do it. Walmart gave better runs to white men, passed over black drivers. Oh, really? Really? Now, see, that kind of stuff doesn't make any sense. And what would make sense is, the economy would take care of that they would want to make the most money, so they should give runs to the best people, not to white people. That doesn't make any sense. But, all right, and so if they got sued for it, good for them. Good for those drivers, right? Boot that place out of there. Wieners can be boiled to DEF. I'm going to try this on my friends. Oh, nice. I didn't know that. Is that on the packaging? If more people did their research, there would be less complaining. That is certainly true. Look, it's tough when people write to me and they're like, oh, I'm 35, I went into trucking, and so now I'm stuck in a contract. I'm like, and I always ask them that. Did you read the contract? Well, no, the recruiter told me, anything you sign, you have to read. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's just a receipt somewhere if you're signing it, and to make sure the amount is correct, or a contract for the next 9 months of your life. Read it and understand it, because you're going to be, England will hold you to it. Most of the time, the behavior of a driver says a lot about the company. Had a run-in with a CRT land whale. Oh, that's good. Land whale. That's true. The drivers represent the company. That is absolutely true. That's when I see somebody coming up with a shirt that hasn't been washed in 3 days, flip-flops, walking up with a smoke cigarette or whatever. I'm like, oh, great. Does the company know who they have driving out there? I'm not saying you have to wear a tuxedo, but come on. Most companies want you to get DEF at their yards, if they have it in their yards. Right. I'll agree. Oh, look, whatever your company says, just keep the thing full. If they'll give you a bucket to take with you, fine. I'm just thinking, look, if you fuel at a truck stop, fill up the DEF. Do they not let you fill it up at a truck stop, even if you can get fuel at the truck stop? That wouldn't make any sense. She said they would cut more trees down in a black community than a white community. Less oxygen. Oh, really? So, really? I don't know anything. I didn't hear anything about that. Why? So, people, how racist really do you have to be if you're thinking, you know what, let's go cut more trees down over there than over here? Really? I mean, this is getting a bit crazy now. Nothing like a prime turtle race. Oh, yeah, let's one prime pass another prime, going up a hill or something. They settled for $17 million. I think it was 2909. Oh, okay, that's what I don't remember back that far. Pour some rubbing alcohol in your DEF tank to prevent freezing. From the Swift safety team. Did they actually say that? Prime is a crap company. I don't really recommend it. I don't like the team training. I don't like team training. I don't think it's training. Roy is here. What's going on? Indiana state symbol is an orange barrel. Oh my gosh, that's 74. Who goes out there? How many orange barrels are there? I was 3 gallons of oil coolant and washer fluid with me. You take coolant from your supply. Oh, all right. I'm thinking, look, it'd be warmer if you took it right out of the truck. I mean, that would make a good point. Having to get winched out of a pothole, I would take a picture of the situation as well. I could show it to future companies if they asked about it. Everything should be a picture. Agree. What do you think about, just paying to get the truck yourself so that it stays off your record? $100, especially if you're at a place that has a tow, or even a pickup truck could probably get you just started. Winch out at home, maybe worth it. Might be worth it. Some YouTuber, dang it, said trucker pay ranges from 20 per year to 300,000. Wow, 20,000. Are there really people making 20? I mean, really? Schneider's out there, or not Schneider, but CRST's out there, 60 cent plus now range on their ads anyways. 20, that's $400 a week. But I will say, I get people write to me that make $400 or $500, and I wonder what's going on. Had my seat cushion and took 4 Advils, ready for the bridge around Little Rock. Yikes. 4 Advils. Goodbye, liver. Does rubbing alcohol really work in your washer fluid from freezing? I don't use rubbing alcohol. I use 91% isopropyl alcohol. And I make winch wash fluid. I should do another video about making another gallon of winch wash fluid. I always make my own winter windshield washer fluid by adding 91% isopropyl to the windshield washer fluid. Yeah, and it absolutely works. It will not. I guarantee you, my windshield washer fluid will not freeze all winter. Keep this in mind too. Your windshield washer fluid has to work. At an inspection, if it doesn't work, your truck is out of service. That is an out of service violation. If it's empty or doesn't work, that's an out of service. So if that tank is frozen, that truck is out of service. That's correct. Think about that. I think before we focus too much time on going to Mars, we should figure out how to make a bridge connection that doesn't throw me through the windshield. Yeah, how about we connect bridges before we get to the... Well, the other thing about Mars, you won't have that problem. So think about that. There's just a few cars, because what do we always do? Wherever we go, we got dead cars. So there's dead rovers and stuff all over the place. There's some of them on the moon, too. Otherwise, no bad bridges, though. When I left Mills, they put things like hit by other vehicle and a flat tire on highway. See? That kind of stuff. Why do they have to do that on your deck? They have to put it on there. Why do they need to do that? What possesses them to do that? To say, you know what? I think we'll put this on somebody's deck. They have a flat tire. Joe does it, but it does, but it has to be over 60%. Yeah, I use 91%. I'm 1 year in trucking. Love my company, JB Hunt, but switching accounts due to dispatch idiots. That can be a problem too. But the good thing about a place like JB Hunt, they have a lot of different stuff to do. I get a lot of letters from people at JB Hunt that like it. So as long as they get on something they like. But if you're at a big place, say, hey, I want to go do something else. I don't like what I'm doing. I put my truck in a ditch instead of running over a minivan. No damage to equipment. Was told it's a preventable accident. That's probably true. On internal records, because it cost $1,500 to get towed out. See, that'd be too much to pay. Yeah, they'll say, look, preventable. You should have been going slower or something is what they probably would say. And that's going to go on there. Rubbing alcohol has a freezing point of around minus 70. 91% isopropyl has a freeze point of minus 172 Fahrenheit. How about that? Land whale. I love that. Zero C land whale. Well, that's not, that's terrible though. Look, they passed a physical. How about that? Somebody hit a car to make sure it's an accident. Well, what they're saying is probably that you should be farther behind the car, I think is how they would put it. I got dirty DEF. You can, I'm not saying it's going to be clean or dirty, like Dirty Diana, Michael Jackson. But what I'm saying, keep it full because sometimes the pump doesn't work. You don't want to run in there with your dot flashing where it's got those 4 little dots and the last one's flashing and then you can't get it. Nobody wants to do that. Kamala Harris stopped breathing up all my air. Why is she taking all of our air? Drivers, I thought she's overseas right now. George Wilson, drivers like to protect their classic large cars from damage by nosing into parking stops and truck stops and let the trailer take the damage, except they're sticking out 12 feet beyond everybody else. And it's always a truck like that, like this kind of truck, although hopefully not a Smith truck itself. It's a truck that looks like that, though. Absolutely. Nosing into those spots. This is a trucking channel and not political. That is correct. Although we do talk about Edward Durr because he's a truck driver. The tow company charged $770 for 30 minutes. Nice. Those tow trucks are not cheap, though. You know, looking at a lot of money for a tow truck. $1,500 for a tow out, yeah, that you're going to have to pay. But I'm saying, look, if you can get somebody in the truck stop, if you're in a gravel pothole and can get another driver to just run a chain around and throw a tow hook on the front of you to give you a little bit of a start to get out of there for $100 cash, that'd be better than putting something on your record, and then that's the end of it, right? Midlife Trucker is a second-year driver making $100,000 this year. That's what trucking can do for you if you do it the right way. $20,000 is annual income at Sierra England as a student. That's hard to believe. That's hard to believe. Because look, right now, 40 hours at McDonald's is $600 a week. That's $30,000. Although I guess the potential is more here. But if you stayed at McDonald's a year, you are the CEO of the whole company. I know somebody that drove for Swift, blew a super single, and got a preventable. How is that a preventable accident? You should have seen that pallet you ran over on the highway. I would gripe at him about that, for sure. That driver should go back to Swift and gripe at him, especially if they still work there. Walmart sells Rain-X for $3 a gallon, and you can use bottle later. You could. You can use the bottle for something else. I do use Rain-X or Rain-X Winter, but I also add the isopropyl to that because I just don't trust how much they put in there. And I want to know because in the dead of winter, I'll run it almost 50-50. And my windshield washer fluid smells like a hospital. When it gets squirted, you could eat off the windshield because it's been sanitized for your protection. but also it does not freeze. The freeze point, I've probably brought the freeze point of that down to 100 below zero. And remember, wind chill does not affect the freeze point of objects. Right, so let's get past that. Cassius King Trucking, if you're in a binding, you're stuck on ice, you can always pour some windshield wiper fluid on top of the tire and let it run down. Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't freeze. Worked at JB Hunt several years ago. They're not too bad. I get people that like it. There's a difference between at-fault and preventable. Yeah, I don't think a preventable. It should be a preventable and an at-fault, though, for a flat tire. I mean, if you hit something or it just goes flat, I mean, I don't know why they feel the need to put this stuff on there. Flat tires and stuff. Do they not expect to get flat tires ever on a truck? I get a couple of them a year. I wonder how many are on my record. Steering wheel solo drivers makes 25 cents with 2,100 miles a week. That's be 500, I guess, right? A week. That's 25 grand. Huh. All right. Alex M., good afternoon, my friend. Hope all's well. All's going great. Al John, you hated it? It's not for everybody. Each company is not for everybody. Every company you go to, you'll find people that love it and people that don't like it. So that's why you got to do a lot of questioning and find the company that's right for you. I think my past company is mad because I quit with no notice. I forget them. They never returned phone calls or messages. I was alone and got no communication, so neither did they. I've always said no notice. Absolutely not. I'm not going back. I don't need to give you notice. They can fire you with no notice, but they expect notice when you quit? No. You know who puts that message out there? You should give 2 weeks? Companies. Forget companies. Oh, Mark, you're not a team player. That's correct. There's no I in team. You know what there is an I in? Individual. Okay, right. Independent. That's where there's an I, not in team. So I'm not a team player. Where do I find the 91% stuff? I get it at Meijer. I just get little quart bottles of it at Meijer. You can get them online, have them delivered to you. They're everywhere. If you can't go to minimum speed in any weather, you shouldn't be on the road. I think once you're getting under the minimum, it's time to start thinking, hey, is it so unsafe that I need to park? Are the roads really bad? I've always thought, half the speed limit. If I can't go half the speed limit of a road, it's really time to start thinking, should I park it? So, if you're down in the 30, 35 range on the highway, you're not getting anywhere, and it's really getting bad out. Maybe it should time to get someplace to park. G-Tor Joe Pontiac. All right, we'll go with Pontiac. I need your opinion. A few times a week, I haul 38,000 pounds of milk. Nice. Should there be load bars in front and back of the pallets? I say they should. There's 10 feet of free space. Yeah, I'd want it blocked off, and loads are required to be secured, including in a box van, a trailer, or anything else. It has to be secured from movement. So I would want something in there, sure. I don't want milk going all over the place. What a lactic disaster. Yeah, drugstore, sure. No Walmart? Yeah, no thanks, right. You can get them everywhere. If you're stuck in a pothole, see another driver will back up to the trailer and give you a little push. Oh, that's true, right? They can just shove you. Trailers shove you. They don't even need a hook or anything. That's probably all you'd need to get started. And if you give them $50 or something or whatever, Mark, I'm going to email you a picture of the pothole. It was something else. I can imagine if you're stuck in it, right? If you're stuck in it. Can find 100% alcohol at your liquor store at Everclear. The alcohol, 91% is probably cheaper. It's probably cheaper, and at least you can have that in the truck. Was told it was only preventable accidents since the tow was $1,500. If it was $14.99, oh, sorry. If it was $1, tell them I'll give you the buck. How about that? You should have said that. All right, I'll give you $1 right now. Now you're only out $14.99. Grain alcohol. We don't want to use grain alcohol. Someone paid me $100 to help him out of a muddy situation. I didn't want to take it because it only took 10 minutes. He insisted and stuffed the $100 in my pocket. Did he do it slowly, looking you right in the eye? How did they give that to you? That's my question. And believe me, you probably saved that driver something on his record. So prevent it with super singles. They could say the tire was low on air. They could say it, but that doesn't prove it. Tell them to prove it. The tire was low on air. What do I got to go to that Love's thing every day and have the tires filled up? Hi, Mr. Mark. Hey, Fisher Brown. What's going on? Doesn't the alcohol eat the rubber on your wipers? So, people always say, Mark, it eats up your hoses or whatever. I've used it for decades. And by the way, I use it in my cars. Okay, I'm confident enough in it. I use it in the cars. I've never had any problems with it. But I get my wipers changed pretty regularly. The truck, they get changed twice in a winter. And the car, they get changed every year or so. And so, once they start streaking or whatever, they're gone anyhow. Get them out of there. So they're cheap, and you can change them yourself. Simple. Saw a YouTuber use bleach on his tires because of the ice. I wouldn't use bleach on my tires. Bleach will destroy your tires. It's awesome for burnouts, and I guess in a pinch, but I probably wouldn't use it on my tires. It seems like bleach, chlorine on the tires, and a petroleum product. There's an I in team. Look in the A. Exactly. Miss Meyer, do they let trucks park there? They do with this one. Okay, so if you're ever in Lafayette, the Meyer I-65 exit 172, and you'll see it's right there. They let trucks park there, and you can park there all night, no problem. Meyer there is open 6 a.m. to midnight, so you can go in and do your shopping. And across the street is a Starbucks, what is that place? Oh, White Castle is there. And there's some other restaurant there too. Dunkin' Donuts or something is there. Yeah, so there's a few little stores and a gas station. And you can park at this one all year round. I appreciate 2-week notice, but I understand. Companies do appreciate it. They appreciate it, but I just don't do it. I would appreciate a 2-week notice before I got fired. But they don't do that. They don't ever do that. In 2 weeks is going to be your last day. I don't ever see them doing that. So because of that, and it says right in the driver's manual of almost every company I've ever seen, you're not under any obligation to stay, and we can fire you at any time. You can quit at any time. Great. I'll see you later. It says so right in the manual. If they don't like that, they should put in there that we will give you 2 weeks notice, and you have to give us 2 weeks notice. We will never fire you without a 2-week notice. Then I'm in. But companies never they want something from you that they won't give you. That's why I don't give it to them. Arguing with flat highway will go on your deck is non-preventable and must do community service at the manhole. Must do a week of community service, and you have to clean up. You have to be there Saturday night to do some servicing and then clean up Sunday morning. Thank you. I'm calling safety right now. Yeah, I agree. I think loads have to be secured. Loads in any van, flat, anything has to be secured from movement. And if you're concerned about it, I don't want milk going all over the place. He stuffed 100 in his pocket. Was it the manhole? That's later. I'm just saying, did they put it in your pocket slowly where they look at you? I spent 25 years at JB Hunt. It was good. Yeah, see, that's the thing. People stay there, and depending what you're doing there, I think any company can work for people depending what you're doing. Just depends what you want. Where's Sierra England putting 3 buckets? Look, at Sierra England, we're all friends. We can all share. They share everything, including buckets. At the same time. Telling you, one holds, one goes, one videos. Hey, Mark, what's the Car Talk podcast that's doing vintage episodes called? It's called Car Talk. That's what it's called. Yeah, Car Talk, it's on your favorite podcast player. It's been on the air since 91. For those of you that don't know, click and clack. It's a car-related podcast and one of my favorite podcasts. Super funny. It's on NPR. Not new shows anymore, but they're doing the ones from 91. Great show. It's called Car Talk. I like to mix wild turkey, 100% alcohol with the Diet Dr. Pepper. Wow, that's a breakfast of champions right there. Sorry, it's Roller Wiener Monday, and I thought it was Roller Wiener Pun Day. It's always Roller Wiener Pun Day for you. I always buy silicone blades. They're expensive, $50 a pair, but they last a lot longer and are way better. They leave a silicone residue that makes water bead off. Yeah, so's this, you get this little residue from the Rain-X and that. Absolutely. Get whatever wipers you like. But I've never found that the alcohol does anything to wipers in all the years. If it has, I didn't notice because I change them at least once a year. I'm more of a Dr. Pepper vodka person. Wow. Where's all the super chats? Wieners are not free, John. I appreciate that. Not required, of course, and no ads on this on the live show. One of the Car Talk brothers died midlife. Yeah, he died a few years ago. Tommy died. That's why Ray, who hosts this, the Car Talk is just a replay now. They've been replaying it for a couple of years. But now these shows they restarted in 91. And so they're playing the first of the shows. I just like the show. I talk about that on my podcast that's on every Tuesday and Friday. And so I thought, you know what? This is a pretty good show, and I think people should listen to it. I think it's pretty good. It's called Car Talk, though, and it's funny if you like cars. If you don't, then you probably wouldn't like this podcast. 2 different drivers from Useless Express said that company tried to put a failed drug test on their record. Oh, yeah, a failed drug test does go on your record. That's the thing. It goes in your clearinghouse, and I think that's a real problem. Do not fail a drug test. That, they probably, I'm pretty sure, right? They're required to put that on there. So that's a problem. That kind of thing is a problem. One year when it snowed, it was stuck in the yard of a big food warehouse. I'd have to say it was mired down in the parking lot. Yeah, I was mired down in the parking lot. All right. Car Talk. Oh, yes. They're from My Fair City, right, Boston. The law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Very good. Yes, everybody loves that show. I mean, for being on NPR, it's a very good show. How do you stop wiper stutter? Get better wipers. I mean, I don't know. I don't have that. They're not bouncing up or whatever. It seems like they're just hopping. Get ones that would be better in the winter. Maybe your arms are bent. Get a better arm or a blade kind where the full blade pushes down on the glass. I don't know. That's how I would do that. Did you see in Pennsylvania also, they're going to allow local cities to run speed radar? Did you know Pennsylvania is the only state where only state troopers can run radar on you? True story. They're going to allow local municipalities to run radar. You'll have to be 10 over to get a ticket, but they're going to allow the local municipalities to start using radar. I didn't know that. But only the state troopers in Pennsylvania can use radar. Saw a driver fill his wiper tank with something because he couldn't tell which was the right bottle. I don't know which bottle to use. Do I use a bucket, the bottle? I don't know. I don't know what the freeze point of that would be. Probably pretty low due to its salt content, I would think. That's something I don't want to look up. I already get enough weird ads from all the stuff I have to look up anyways. They passed their drug screen. Why would they put a fail on their record if they passed their drug screen? I'd be all over them about that. You don't want that on your record. If you passed it and they put a fail on there, why would they do that? It seems like that is something that should be reported immediately. The guys on Car Talk were amazed to hear oil change every 3,000 miles. I thought that was a standard. Yeah, in 1970. I'm amazed at that too. You don't have to do that anymore. The only people that say you should do that now are the people at Jiffy Lube. The manufacturer of my car says a year or 10,000 miles per change. Now I go 6 months or 5,000 miles, but 3,000, you don't have to do that anymore. Oil's way better than it used to be. It used to basically be water, and you had all kinds of room in the engine, So there's no to change oil all the time because the pistons are all slapping around in there. Now everything's all tightened up in there. Oil's much better. I say 6 months or 5,000 miles on an oil change. 3,000, I don't think you have to do that anymore. I'm still doing it way more than even the manufacturer says. And if you're not going to keep your car a long time, just do it the manufacturer. If you have a 3-year lease, I'd go 3 times. They are now required to post a failed drug test. Don't fail one. I agree. Do not fail. But if they're posting a fail and you passed it, that's got to be illegal. I don't know how you would solve that. I'd be about solving that. You don't want that on your record. You'll never work anywhere. The Car Talk brothers, Tom and Ray, were smart. They're PhDs, for those of you that don't know. They really mentioned that in the year in their shows. When I listen to it, sometimes I got to remember the show ended 10 years ago. Right. They don't mention, we'll be back just next week or whatever. They don't mention the year, but Ray is hosting and did say this is the new shows now are from 30 years ago, the ones that they're replaying. But yeah, that's right. They don't have a date in them. So they can replay them. And for those of you that don't know that, listen to that show. They both have PhDs in real life, IRL, as the kids say. They are both PhDs, doctor. You can call them doctor. They don't say it that much in the show, but they are PhDs. Hey, Joe, these new people out here are, let's see, they're vindictive, but why? I just don't get it, Jeff, because they're maybe vindictive. That seems like that's not legal, and you're going to ruin somebody's career. Oh, that would take some retaliation, I'll tell you that. That would take some well-placed retaliation. Last time on CBS 60 Minutes, Andy Rooney was on there. They pointed out that the ports are turning away truckers because they don't pull up with their color of empty container that they're accepted that day. Oh, come on. They do colored. So now don't tell me the containers are racist. Most of them are red. So what is it? Tuesday or blue, Wednesday's green. I guess a lot of evergreens and Crowley blue containers. Really? Is there seriously like a color per day? Did Andy Rooney talk about it at the end? How many pileups on I-80 in Pennsylvania are going to happen this year? A lot, as always, every year. Don't moss wipers stutter due to lack of water? Yeah, don't wipe them dry. Don't do dry wipes. Okay, that's now cars, which didn't used to do this. When you hit the squirter on a car, it squirts first, and then the wipers go for just that reason. So, yeah, don't ever wipe dry. It's too much friction. The USAF used radar all the time. Yeah, they did. Now Pennsylvania in local cities will finally be able to use it. People are opposed to it, and they're saying, it's going to be a great idea. Well, the state collects a lot of that money. That's the problem. Clean your windows very well and then use silicone blades. Always keep the window clean. That's the most important. That's what ruins your wipers more than anything, is wiping all the schmutz that's off the window. Keep them clean. Anybody know where I can get blinker fluid? Amazon is sold out. Yeah, you know, this stuff has been hard to find. Meyer, the automotive section, is out. It's very, very hard to find. I'm going to have to do a video about how to make that too. You're going to have to manufacture your own anymore because it's just too hard to get. Can you put a link to your other channel? I have a car channel. So, a YouTube channel. So, yeah, I'll have to get a link to that. I will get one. Let me write that down. I don't have it right here. And so I can put a link, right. All right. I will get a link for it. For people that are... Look, this is not exactly Shakespeare. I just go look at cars. I didn't this weekend because it was snowy, so I didn't get a video. So there's maybe 40 or so new videos a year put on that channel. And it's me looking at a car. It's nothing dramatic. I was told the oil stayed the same, but the better filtration come out. Oh, really? I don't know about that. You know, the oil's better. The oil's always better. It's got new ratings and stuff. I don't think 3 months. I think you're just wasting money. 6 months is plenty. Betting at least 5 with 5 or more vehicles. Ports are the worst. Blame the union. I don't know. Is it the union stopping things out there? I mean... They're working hard, right? Blinker fluid is sold at the local Harley dealer. Do they need it? I thought they had oil there because of all the leakage out of the AMF engines. One was the trainer, the other was just a driver. Both are here at GP now. Really? That's so hard to believe. I mean, what did they do about it? What did they do? Did they write to him and say, hey, because I don't know how you prove you pass it. That's interesting. See, that's the other side of it is you're saying, no, I passed it. And I guess they could say, well, prove it. How would you prove it? You don't get any kind of, it's not like you get an email that says you passed. You just don't hear anything on a drug test. I'm not a veteran, but do you find it offensive that people attach an American flag to the back of their trailer and it's ripped? Yes. I find that at any business, any company, any vehicle, anything, any house, even if they're not lit, if you fly a flag, it should be in good condition. It should be weatherproof if it's outside, and it should be lit at night, period. Okay, as soon as there's a tear or a rip in that flag, it comes down. And you either repair it or get a new flag. It's totally offensive. You want to fly a flag and you're saying, oh, I love America, then put a good flag out. Respect that flag. And fly a flag that's in good condition. And light it at night. Light that flag up at night. Port in Philly is the worst. How long do you have to sit there? Blinker fluid equals eye drops. With the guy, dry eyes, that guy. Do I have any reasonable expectation of privacy, security for my stuff in the truck when it's parked at a terminal? Having issues with a nosy maintenance guy and that I don't even report to. Well, that I think requires this right here. I'm not an attorney, for those that don't know, so I can't give legal advice. In my non-attorney opinion of that, I think so. But, you know, what the company would say is, hey, it's our truck. You're leaving your stuff in our truck, probably is what they would say. I will tell you, if I'm not going to be there, I don't really leave anything in the truck. And here's what you could do. Put a camera in there. How about that? And a maintenance guy, I'll tell you this. If he stole my truck and I had him on video, I'd expect him to get fired. Leave a couple bucks in there and put a camera by it. They fought if they obtained a copy of that drug test from the clinic. Yeah, you could do that. And then I think that's something worth having a lawyer look at. Seriously. I would take that and say, hey, can we take this and, you know, see if we can get something done on this? Because there might be legal fees in that. That's worth talking to an attorney, which, of course, I'm not. But that would be worth seeing an attorney. Walmart couldn't hire me because I scratched a fender 1 year ago. Give me a break. See? And a scratched fender, is that a preventable accident? Maybe. Should that go on your record? I don't think so. My daughter's brand new Subaru with accident avoidance and auto braking never braked when hitting a deer. She claimed it was on. Does anyone know if that info is in the car's memory? It's probably on. It doesn't see everything. It's not guaranteed to work. I have that on the Escape. It's not 100%. It may not see things. You know, it's not exactly good yet. So it might still hit the deer. She's got that eyesight with Subaru because they make them right down the street here. In Lafayette, eyesight. Some trucks are using it too. It's not 100%. Has anyone seen the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? I've only seen one at the manhole. Well, it only has one color there, though. We don't get all the different colors like you would anywhere else. The lab that ran the test will have an official copy of the drug test you can get a copy of. So you think they'd give you a copy of that? I wonder how you would know it is on your record. I will tell you, that is worth talking to an attorney and saying, look what they did to me. Is there some way we can do this? Are there legal fees? Would they pay legal fees? That kind of thing. If not, it'd be worth aggravating them with the state. I'd aggravate them to no end on that. You can change your oil every 6 months, which is actually more than some of the truckers change their underwear. Yeah, that's probably true, right? So at least it would be fresher than that. Thank you, Mark. I find it highly offensive, too, and find it disrespectful. Yeah, thanks, Ford V8. Absolutely. You fly a flag, it should be in good condition. Weatherproof to be outside, and fix it if it has problems. And at all. First rip or whatever gets fixed. If it's dirty, wash it. Throw it in a washing machine. Clean it up. Put it back out there. But do not fly these filthy flags with all these tears in it. It's horrible. Yeah, I'd rather you didn't have a flag on your truck. They say it's a very dirty company. It can be. Peter Evans. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Reported to him the higher ups, and he just got a camera. He's an ex-cop with an attitude problem to make it worse. Yeah, right. Put a camera in, throw a few bucks out there. Whatever's in there should be in there when you get the vehicle back. I do think that. Whether you have an expectation of privacy, I do think you have an expectation of people won't steal your personal items. Right? That's theft, no matter who it is, I think. I sat in the dock for 6 hours one day, Michael Swift. When they finally got off their butts, I was loaded in 15 minutes. Hey, we're ready to take you now. 60 Minutes had the lead guy for the LA port say the problem is all the trailers to take containers are loaded with empty containers. That's not enough trailers to take a container. Hey, it's their problem. Everybody's pointing fingers at everybody else. 2 years ago this was working. We didn't have this problem. Nothing gets put on your deck until you leave the company, Midnight Trucker. Yeah, but they put it on. The company has to put it on there is what I'm saying. They have to actually take the time and say, all right, we're going to put this on there. So you get a flat. They have to all right, let's put this on there. Justin bought another new Western Star dump truck, $214,000. Nice. And I hope he has the work for it. That'd be pretty nice, though. Western Star is a dump truck. Mark, you should do a show on the obsolete cars in the last 20 years. The Yugo, the Metro, and the Pacer. Well, I don't know if they're obsolete. The Yugo, almost bought one, right? Metro, I've seen them. And still, right now, I think that'd be a good commuter car. They're very reliable. Made by Suzuki. Okay. The 1 liter in it, no problem. And the Pacer, well, you look, the passenger door is 6 inches longer than the driver's door so that people can get in the back. That's not a bad idea. And that's a true story. Another fun roller winter day of sitting in almost 2 mile long port lines in Oakland. Well, that's great. How long was it going to take you to get through that line where there's a driver shortage? You know why there's a shortage? They're all waiting in line. Matt Trepp of the Harbor Trucking Association told us there are new restrictions on even the color of containers that can be returned. We're not taking more rust-colored containers. Really? Is that a true story? I mean, it sounds so crazy. Like, that could almost be true. Like, we don't take any of those colored containers today? Like this color green or that color, yellow? I mean, who would do that? Who would impose a color container problem? Where's that woman on MSNBC to talk about that? Can you dispute things in your DAC? You sure can. Go to hireright.com. Get your DAC and start the dispute process all right there. Certainly. Another fun roller winter day. Okay, I missed that right. What's your annual review for? Your annual review. What do you mean by that? I've had a Yugo, a Metro, and a Pacer. Really? Which one did you like the best? Probably the Metro. Another fun roller winter day. I keep getting that one. That came twice. Schneider, because it's nice. Schneider tried to tell me to quit because when their doctor gave me a physical, I went home and got another from a clinic. They told me I had to use the one from their doctor. Yeah, they can make you have the physical with their doctor. They go, we only approve this doctor's physical. This doctor right here for our physical. You can always go get treatment, though, anywhere you want. Anywhere in the country, right? Any doctor. You don't have to take treatment from them, but you have to get a physical with their doctor. Are you going to do a Doing It Better company to work for in 2021? Oh, that'd be pretty good. There's a lot. There's still a lot. We could do like a best of 2021 best of companies. I remember when a Yugo got blown off the Mackinac Bridge in the late 70s. How would that happen? The Yugos didn't come into the United States until the 80s. So that would be something. If you're offending, you're listening to Johnny Cash's Ragged Old Flag. Yeah, look. Well, okay. I think he's telling a different story in that one. I've heard that sound right. I think, and I agree with you. I agree with that one. Okay, that flag has a story. The flag behind some goober's W900L that's filthy, hanging from the thing that holds the hoses up. It's dirty, ripped up back there, horrible. It's out in the weather. It's cotton, and it's outside. That's disgusting. And I think, and I don't like it on a business or whatever. I've talked to businesses around here. I write to them. The wife too, right? The wife was in the Navy. Okay, I was Army, but the wife was in the Navy. Both veterans, right? That bothers me a lot. In the bedroom is my dad's flag, in its case. So, we're a veteran family here, and it bothers me. It bothers me. Pack ports and empty shelves inside the issues behind the U.S. supply chain at 60 minutes. All right. Pack ports and empty shelves. 400 nukes in the metro. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. For 19,000. Sweet. I got a feeling my daughter. Is that the metro you're talking about? 400 miles on it for that got sold for 18,000. I did that on a podcast. That's true. I got a feeling my daughter picked a car with accident avoidance and lane assist so she could text while driving. Oh no, Tommy Cash. Look, they did a big study about that. There was actually a study about a year ago now, and people that buy cars with these accident avoidance, lane keeping, and all these other things are less likely to be paying attention. That's correct. They let the car, and they actually said that they're working on another study. They think there's more drunk driving now because people think, oh, I can have a few more drinks because the car will take care of most of the driving home. The more of this stuff that they do that's interim, where the car doesn't actually drive itself, the less people pay attention. Yep. They did a big study. What they did is put cameras in the cars and told the people, hey, we're going to watch you drive for 3 months. And the people are like, okay, no problem. They agree to it. And it turns out within a couple of days, people are looking at their phones and the car drive. Yeah, so you're absolutely right. Now, she didn't probably pick it because almost every Subaru comes with all that stuff on it. There's only a few Subarus that don't have the eyesight. So just getting a Subaru, you get the eyesight on most of them. But yeah, that's probably what happened. Michael Swift, you have the absolute right to dispute your deck. Yes, and you should if it's wrong. The Yugo parts manual says replace as a unit the whole car. Just replace it. If anything breaks, you just replace the entire car. They were $49.95 when I went to look at them. $99 a month, you pick the car. They were all the same. They basically were just different colors. Some had radios, some didn't. That's how that was at a Buick dealer. Sheppel Buick in Hammond. The Wieners rolled off the shelf. I was actually able to get Wieners yesterday. Are you going to bring back Crap Company of the Week? No. The Asian My Show keeps featuring skateboarders running freight without load securement. That's awesome. Hey, it takes time. And the weather, who wants to be out in the snow securing a freight? That's actually what stopped me from driving a flatbed after my first winter. I'm like, that's about enough of this. Kelly, Mark, you and wife must fight a lot during Army Navy football game. Thank you very much. Yes, I was on the wrong side. You might be able to sail the seven seas, but not today. Tell her. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I have my hat on, A good car was a Vega if you really knew how to take care of them. I had a Vega GT. A 74, I think, Vega GT. So I'm a Vega person, right? Anyone have a company tell them they're not playing with a full DAC? Oh my gosh. I had a driver question my 2022 IFTA sticker. In Iowa, renewal opens the 1st of November. He thought I was crazy for getting it early. Look, get it. As soon as you get it, stick it on there. And because they usually come in the winter. I don't know why they do it in the middle of winter. And then the thing won't stick on your truck. What they do here, sometimes if the winter's really cold, they have you bring the truck in the shop and sit it there. On some of the trucks, they'll heat the truck up. There's a little metal plate for it or whatever with a blowtorch to stick the thing on there. I remember on the road, what companies would do is give it to you when I was on the road and say, here, go put this on. We're sending you to Florida. Go stick it on down there. Yeah, so if it sticks, it must fit right now. Absolutely. AMC for Javelin and Matador. I would rather take a Matador. I was a big sedan kind of person, so always on that. We don't have our new IFTA stickers yet, by the way, and we're usually late. We'll get them in like February, end of January, because I'm always asking, what's a sticker? Oh, we didn't get them yet or whatever. I'm like, I see them on everybody else's truck. By the way, what color's the 2022 sticker going to be this year? Just so I know. And so I can get ready to scrape off the old one and on with the new. I always take the old one off. So because we'll get them into the next year. I scrape off the old one, get the new one stuck on there. I argued with a state trooper, million miler, on a scale at 39 in Beloit, of the scale that the ABS light on a trailer needs to be off while operating the vehicle. He said it needs to be illuminated. Really? It's off. When it's on, there's an ABS problem. That's why I tell people, wrongly, that if it's on and you need to go somewhere, to cover it up or unplug it. I bring a roll of tape. I had to cover one this week. Plug the trailer in, ABS light is on. Now, where can I get that fixed at, say, 1 in the morning? Nowhere. Okay, so where do I have a roll of tape? Yes. Okay. Gorilla Tape to the rescue. I covered because that light being on is a problem. It's a warning light. I don't know what these troopers are talking about. The Matador Brougham. Well, you got to get the luxury one. So you've got the AM, FM, maybe 8-track, depending what year. The stickers are most definitely racist. Yeah, where's this MSNBC woman about that? They keep changing. Well, you know what? I don't know, because the stickers change colors every year. They're more diverse. So the stickers, if anything, are bringing diversity to trucking. The woman is just an idiot. She knows nothing about trucking. She's just an idiot. Complete idiot. Do you not like it when there's 20 years of decals? I don't like it. No, it makes your truck look old, which it is. You see the stick. I see trucks with 2 lines of stickers going all the way down the whole side of the sleeper. Hey, the DOT is like, wow, this thing is an antique. They have wooden wheels. You know, you still got the old wheels on it. Take the sticker off them. Just get a plate, which I see most companies have this, a metal plate that sticks to the truck. Scrape the old one off. Put the new sticker on. 1 sticker. Truck looks new. No more than a couple of stickers. Right? Get them off of there. Use mud to cover it, not tape. Well, it's nighttime. See, for me, it's nighttime. So a black piece of tape from the other side of the highway, whatever, it's still dark when I get back. Nobody knows the difference. The next person taking it can untape it. I'll unplug it. Some of them, but now they're welded in there. Or, JB welded or whatever. So you can't really take the wires out without damaging it. So I just tape it. That seems to be the easiest thing on it. The trooper tried to put me out of service and had me call the TA in Janesville. You're out of service for a single light? That shouldn't be an out of service either. But the TA is not going to be able to fix it. Where do these... I thought the troopers that do these inspections have to have training. I'd like to see in the out-of-service manual, which you should have them show you, say, hey, we're in the out-of-service manual. Is that a problem? He's thinking the light, well, even on the truck, right, it should be out. So years ago, you had to put a sticker on for every state you ran in. I was in December, January. Oh, yeah, you had a little plate on the front of the truck, a little bingo plate. And you'd put little license plate size sticker. Each state, you'd get a new one. Not every state, it seemed like. But a lot of states had their own sticker. Then you'd have to have a bunch of numbers on the truck. Oh, yeah, those are the days. And you had a little card with your permits, and it looked like a bingo card, and it all but different stickers on it. They expired at different times. Oh, so great. IFTA versus KTU, yeah, I don't know that 100% of the difference. I do see trucks with the letters. That'd be for an owner-operator. Some GMs had a built-in CB radio from the factory. I had a 1978 Oldsmobile 98 Regency with the factory AM, FM, 8-track CB radio. And all the controls for the CB were on the microphone. Had the up and down button on it and everything. Yeah, pretty fancy. Had an antenna on the trunk. All factory, GM factory. I was living large with that car. 403 big block in it. SCA is the proper pronunciation of Sheppel Buick. Oh, Maryville. SCAPLE, Scapel Buick. Okay, Scapel Buick. All right, and Maryville. All right. They were also the local Yugo dealer. Use coolant as wiper fluid in the winter. That is a one-time use only of that. Oh, my gosh. Know why the midlife trucker, know why the Yugo had a rear window defroster? To keep the driver's hands warm when pushing. Yeah, they didn't run good. So people said. That carburetor, they're still carbureted in the late 80s, which they're one of the last cars to do that. I remember seeing RV with stickers for every state they've been. Yeah, some of them have like a US on it. I always thought they'd be interesting on a truck. And then they put a little sticker for each state they're in. That's all right. I like that. That's a good idea. Tape on the light is deliberate. I don't know how that mud or grease got there to midlife trucker. Yeah, I guess you could say... I guess you couldn't say I didn't notice it because you're supposed to notice it. What I'm trying to do, though, I see what you're saying. I don't have any scales. I don't go over any scales. And so I'm just trying to cover the light so it can't be seen. Like if somebody drives by it at night, it's dark. You're not going to see that light covered up because it's out. Turns out Gorilla Tape is pretty good at holding the light in there. And it sticks through all weather. So I'm going to get the trailer back 180 miles or whatever without any problems. Let's see. KYU is a highway use tax. It's on top of what you pay IFTA. It's on top of what you pay IFTA. Bingo. Okay, so yeah, I didn't know that. Remember the story about the RV, the crash? About the RV, the crash because the driver went to go make a sandwich after he thought the cruise control was autopilot? There's probably people that think that in a car too. So I could certainly believe that. That's why you bring somebody with you to have them make you a sandwich while you're driving. And they can use like a panini griller back there. Ford V8, why did drivers used to switch license plates many, many years ago? Thanks, love the show. Why did they switch license plates? What do you mean by that? Like if you switch states or whatever, you switch plates. And here in Indiana, it depends on the state. Okay, when you buy a car in Indiana, it doesn't have a license plate on it. But some states, like Texas, from what I remember when I was there, when you bought a car, it had plates. The plates went with the car for the life of its car. But here in Indiana, you get a new plate when you buy a car. So unless you have a plate to transfer to it. So I don't know what you mean. Like when I buy cars, I'll trade one in and I just transfer the plate. So I don't exactly know what we're saying here. And thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. A light out is out of service. The rule is a light is on a vehicle. It has to be working. Correct. Right. I agree with you. Okay. I see what you mean. Brian May from Queen has a PhD in astrophysics. He was a smart guy too. There are PhDs out there that we don't realize. People don't realize Click and Clack are both PhDs from MIT. So they really are. Are the port run by Karens? If they're worried about the color of a container, I just can't imagine it. But I'll tell you what. Anymore in society, I'll believe almost anything. People tell me something like that. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess you have to have a certain day to bring a blue container in. I mean, that certainly makes sense. It makes total sense. My 88 Chevy Nova still had a carb, late 80s. And that Nova, your 88 Nova, was built in California, right, Sean? That is a Tercel at the NUMMI plant, right? The new United Motor Manufacturing Industries, right? A joint GM Toyota. So your Nova is a Tercel. It probably still runs fine. being as a Toyota boring. Toyota boring. But not then, I guess, as much as they are now. But yeah, that car should run good. I meant like the dual truck that had 3 different plates in the front of the truck. Oh, okay, yeah, that truck from Dual. And back then, and there's many drivers on here that remember this. I barely remember it, but that was just ending. You used to have different plates. You'd always have an Oregon plate. It seemed like there were a couple of actual plates you'd have to have, plus your home plate, plus another plate that had a bunch of stickers on it, which is what your bingo stickers are. Each state required a registration with the truck. And so depending on the state, you'd have to plate. It'd have another plate. Some of them you'd have a back plate too, which some states still do. So yeah, a truck might have 3 or 4 plates and another plate with a bunch of stickers and a bunch of numbers along the side and a card in there that had a bunch of stickers for each state, and they would expire at different times of the year as well. That's exactly how you had to register the trucks. All trucks had to be registered. It seems like a mess to get them registered that way, but that's absolutely how they did it. Yeah. Now this way is a lot easier. One state like a car. I need to re-roof my woodshed. I wonder if Gorilla Tape would work for that. I think so. Look, I will tell you what. It sticks pretty good. It sticks pretty good. I think everybody should have a roll of tough tape like that, Gorilla Tape or something with them. I've used it a lot of times. The little flappy thing on where you plug the light in the trailer, the little flap on top, sometimes that spring is broken, and so I'll just tape that on there. And again, black tape at night, nobody's going to see that, and it'll hold that down so the light cord doesn't pop out. If you have a KYU number, didn't run in the state, you still have to claim 0 miles per quarter. They threaten fines if you don't, of course, because all they want is money. It's all about collecting money, certainly, like everything else. Oh, California just hit a new gas price high this week, so congratulations to them. Oil used to be more corrosive than now. Oh, that's a possibility. There's a lot of additives. You don't have to do this Jiffy Lube program. Jiffy Lube would like you to think that. Even the dealer only puts a sticker for 5,000 miles here, unless you request different. I don't know about color, but a couple years ago they started cracking down on containers. Michael Swift. Well, look, anymore, it just makes total sense to say, okay, Monday, red containers. Tuesday, blue containers. Right, Wednesday, green containers. I mean, that makes total sense on how freight should be moved around the country by container color. Right, because everybody knows that certain container colors only have certain kind of freight in them. That's how they're loaded overseas or whatever, right? I mean, oh my gosh. It's so dumb that I think it's probably true. They probably do that. You call where you did your drug test and I have them send you a copy of the results. Okay, they probably have to go in maybe so they could prove your identity. But either way, if you can get your results and somebody has put it on there knowing that the result, if they got a positive, I guess what they would probably say, oh, it was an accident. I guess then they would change it. But I would want that changed. You don't want a positive drug test anywhere if it isn't a positive. You don't even want it on there if it is a positive. But certainly if it was not positive, no way would I tolerate that. Oh my gosh. I'd be out in front of that place with a sandwich board and a bullhorn. It was more like a Corolla and with a 5-speed manual. I had two. I wish I had another one. Yeah, it was a Corolla with a 5-speed manual. It was exact because it's the same car. That Chevy Nova went on the same line, same car, made by Toyota, or at least it had a Toyota driveline in it, and it should have run forever. It probably still run. Even if you don't have it, somebody's still driving it. 10,000 miles for hybrid cars with full synthetic oil change. It's 1 year or 10,000 miles for all Fords now. At least the Escape, which is our Escape, which is not a hybrid. Right? It's 10,000 or 1 year, whichever is first. In the owner's manual, but I don't go that long on it. I don't think that's that long. Maybe in a hybrid, if your engine isn't running as much, it just bothers me. So I think twice a year is plenty. Spring and fall. Do certain container colors have anything to do with where the container is going? I think it has something to do with who owns it. Do different owners of containers paint them different colors? It'd be interesting to look that up. Like the letter combo, the owner of it. Are they certainly who owns it? Do only red ones go to China because of the red scare? Is that a possibility? And other colors go to other countries? I was thinking Japan, but their flag's red too. So I don't know about that. Port employees should be colorblind. Yeah, what are the port employees? Why are they discriminating against containers? What are the containers? Did anybody interview the containers about that? You laugh, but you know what? Anymore, I'm surprised there's not some MSNBC host trying to interview a container. Mr. Crowley Container, what do you think about this? How do you feel about this? What are your pronouns? Hey, Pigpen, what's going on? Thank you very much. Another great show, and remember to tip your host. Well, I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much for that. No ads on this show, on the live show, so thank you for that. Port employees should be colorblind. Agree. George Wilson, the Ford L9000. Nice. They were a value-built answer to the Mac R model. Broderick Teaming was around the corner from Mac, but got them to go to Ford 9000s over Macs. I had a 9000 day cab. Once never had a Ford bigger truck on the road. I just saw an Aeromax the other day this week, which I remember. I'm like, oh my gosh, who remembers the Aeromax? There was somebody pulling an Amazon trailer, of course. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, that is an Aeromax coming up on me. I thought, wow, this person's still running an Aeromax around. I've heard the DEF fluid will eat concrete. Wow. Why doesn't it eat through the container? Because it's plastic, I guess? Remember, plastics. One word, plastics. Remember that? Goodness, Ford V8, thank you very much. I enjoy the show, but I got to go. All right, well, it's great to have you. Have a great day. Be safe. Enjoy your day, Mark. Keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. We're going to try and continue to do that. And thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Podcast on Tuesday, Friday. I do an automotive section on there, too, so... smaller or larger, depending on what's going on in the automotive industry. What are your thoughts on doing oil samples part of a PM? I like it. Nevada Trucking and Trails. I don't ever do it because I don't care. It's not my truck. But I think if I owned the truck, I probably would do oil samples. And only as part of I would do it as a part of a PM only because that's when the oil comes out of the truck anyway. And I would do that just to look over time and see how the truck is doing if I owned it. Because repairs get really expensive really fast, and I don't want the truck to be down for some huge repair that I could have caught and done something about. Although I don't know what an oil sample for a truck costs, so you'd have to factor that in there. Probably worth it, though. Probably worth it. I don't do them on a car, though. I had a 71 Pinto with a 1.6 pushrod. They were pushrod then. If I had a one-barrel carburetor, nice. It was good if I was doing good if it got 23 miles a gallon. Yeah, we've come a long way in that, haven't we? You can get a lot more horsepower and a lot more fuel mileage now. I had a truck with a 3 on the tree. I had a Nova with a 3 on the tree in the 70s. I wasn't in the 70s. The car was the 70s. And they made those into the 80s for GM. Early 80s pickups still could get a 3 on the tree. Yep, a lot of fun with those. Not that many people left that have driven one or wouldn't have any idea how to do that, so that's a lot of fun. If you can find one. John, money talks. It always talks. Certain containers haul certain products. Midlife trucker, the ports want to load the ships and don't have room for the storage. But are they color-coded? I don't know if they're color-coded, where we can look at a container and go, well, that's red, so it's probably got Christmas stuff on it. You know, red and green containers have Christmas stuff. Oh, maybe that's it. Brown ones are Thanksgiving stuff. George Wilson, thanks for today, Mark. Well, thank you for being here. I can't do this without everybody coming in, believe me. The railroad has no problem with any color container. Yeah, they wouldn't care, right? I'm just amazed that, and now I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe there's something to this. Do the colors go to a certain country? Do they go to a certain area of the world? Like, oh, right here in these 3 ports go these 3 colors. Are they that way color-coded? Never thought about it running them around Chicago. Do we even look at the numbers on the containers? Hopefully when you pick them up, you do. Yeah, when you're picking the thing up, somebody better look at the number on it. There's a video at the end of the rainbow, and it's a John Deere tractor, but you can't get them because they're on strike. DEF and that concrete tasted great. It makes it nice and soft. What about frequency? $40? Oh, I would get one at every PM then if it's $40. Yeah, I was thinking hundreds. For $40, you're draining the oil anyhow? Get it done. I wouldn't do it in between unless there's a problem, right? But I don't own a truck, that would bother me enough to get one done for $40. Million Mile, I flew a torn flag from 2016 to 2020. Now it's a brand new one. Yeah, let's get a fresh one on there. No, shouldn't be dirty, shouldn't be anything. If it gets dirty every day, clean it every day, whatever it takes. It's important. I remember when all cars were SAE 30 weight. I know, and you got it in a cardboard can that you jammed a funnel into with a metal knife end on it, right? You jam this long funnel. I don't even know where you'd get a cardboard can of it anymore. Colors indicate the cargo they haul, midlife trucker. All right, well, what's the color code on containers? I mean, where do you find that out? I never thought about it hauling them around. So green containers only haul certain cargo. So overseas, in China, let's be honest, where most of it is probably loaded, and maybe Japan, we have these products to load, and TVs or whatever. And so then they go, we have to get a blue container because it's electronics. Well, we only have these other containers. And so then we have to go get a blue container. Is that really how that works? That seems pretty inefficient, to be honest with you. Greetings from Hartley, Texas. Gear Jammer. All right, Hartley, Texas. The Ford Aeromax had an air ride cab that leaned way over when they turned Columbia George. They did, but they're supposedly ride best. They're supposedly the best riding truck, and they had all the gauges that pointed to 3 o'clock. That was a big Ford deal. So it was called 3 o'clock and all's well, other than your speedometer and tachometer. 3 o'clock and all's well. So you could scan your gauges. If they pointed at where 3 o'clock was on a clock, all's well. So that was the idea in the gauges. You didn't have to look at each one. Just scan them. Ooh, 3 o'clock. Everybody's good. Ford. A better idea from Ford where quality is job one, as it always is. It's snowing in Indianapolis. That's wonderful. It's supposed to snow today here, ending by this evening. And they said overpasses and stuff will be a problem. It was 27 this morning when I got up, although we're a little bit over freezing now. The Midwest here, a clipper. They called it a clipper, which apparently is also the name of a sports team that I didn't know that because I don't know that much about sports, to be honest with you. I will say, though, that I will have to get out in the snow here pretty soon. But Cassius King Trucking is not in the snow because wherever he goes, it's warm and sunny. And he's on every 10 minutes. Also, Trucking with Diabetes. So thank you for being here today. And don't forget about Fleet Nav Systems. They can help you with this Geotab stuff. And maybe probably a better deal if you own a truck to get with Geotabs. I'll tell you that. Don't forget about Jay. Always live on Tuesdays and other times. Jay from Auto Transport Intel. I don't know anything about cars, but you know who does? Jay. That's who does right there. Jay. I don't know anything about cars. At least not hauling them. Maybe buying them and stuff. Which I think I'll do this podcast about buying cars. On how I use if I can think about it, how I use a egg timer to buy a car. How does an egg timer and buying a car work? Steel containers are the bomb. Hopefully not. What's in them? I'm going to look that up, by the way. It's 85 in Hartley, Texas. Well, isn't that wonderful? 85 degrees. Look, as it gets colder, I get nearly daily updates from my friend in Tampa. Oh, look how warm it is. He's like in Winter Haven or something in one of those close cities. Look at what it is today. Here's a picture of a palm tree. I'm like, yeah, bite me. The indestructible slant 6 engineered from a cannonball, a Sherman tank, and a turd from a bald eagle. That's correct. That rusted out. That sat on Washington's shoulders. He crossed the Delaware. Right. Unfortunately, they put it in a dart or whatever. It's usually got it in a duster, and the car rusted out around it. If you could drive a frame with a seat, you could probably still drive them. The color zip ties on your bread products tells you what day it was produced. It does? Really? I have some cinnamon bread that I got this weekend. Really? Cargo container color. Really? So they will wait for a certain color? I got to see that. That's crazy. How is that efficient? No wonder everything. No wonder some TVs cost $29 already. Aeromax was a very bad truck. The headlights were bad. Well, headlights on cars back then, nice two dull yellow beams, weren't exactly the bomb either for seeing. I think we've come a long way in that too, baby, just like the Virginia Slims of lights. The sun's getting low. Time to roll the credits. Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be dark in like an hour. I think they color containers away company colored trucks. They only use colors red, blue, or green. Of course, GP Transco has to be the oddball. I like a color that's different than every white. Most companies have white trucks. I love a company that will go different like that. I love, ShipX, where you can wrap after a year. Think about this. You can wrap your truck. They'll wrap it with a wrap for you, and you get a same truck. And not the kind of wrap like they do at Sierra England in their videos, but they'll wrap the truck in different colors. I think that's a pretty good idea. Same with trucks and all that stuff on trucks. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That stuff. That's how we have to leave that one for sure. Before we get in too much trouble. But let's see. It autocorrects to that. That's how autocorrect works. George H.W. Bush, president, was here today, which I always appreciate. People, high office coming in. I appreciate it. And James Murrow, quickly followed by James Murrow, almost. Midlife Trucker was here today, and thank you for being here. Joe was here today, but I'm getting ready to head out into the snow, apparently. Jeff Reyes, thanks for coming in. Let's see, where did I go? Oh, Gear Jammer was here. I'll lose my spot already. Right. Flat Highway. John Zay Black, thank you for being here. I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better. Years, and I finally got better at it. Good. Columbia George, thank you for being here. Nevada Trucking and Trails, it's good to see you. So let's see, where am I going off to here? Oh, right, Michael Swift was here today. IDI Ford V8, thank you for coming in. Pigpen, thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. I can't do this without everybody, believe me. Without everybody, it's just me. So the show is you, and it isn't me, believe me. That's for sure. As the cat eats my face off for that. Tommy Cash, it's you too, Gracie. Thanks for being here. But I'm going to head out to work and see what's going on there. Kelly Patterson, thank you for coming in. Corrupted Stoner, nice. That's a good YouTube name. Well, doggies, it's good to be here. Let's see, and I have to do over this one. Oh, right there it is, right there. Okay, so we'll do that. There'll be more videos and stuff this week, and if you have a reason why we're not yet on Mars, do that on the podcast, so send those in to me, and I'm going to go figure out why containers are a certain color. It's the craziest thing I ever heard, but in this life, there probably will be an MSNBC host interviewing them sooner rather than later. So on that note, we'll head on out. Thanks.